right, we'll see if you guys can hear this now. Not shipping on the other one. Let me know once you guys get in here. Always frustrating. Always YouTube always frustrates me with their stuff. We'll get it figured out. We'll get it figured out. Can you guys hear me okay now? See, it's all within YouTube. I did nothing different. See, now I got some people saying no audio. You guys are killing me. You're killing me. All right, as long as you can hear me. As long as you can hear me. The other live stream is still showing as functional. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know. I don't know. You guys can hear me though. Yeah. Yeah. All right. All right. Well, let me see if I can end the other stream for some reason. For some reason, it's still showing the other stream is going. So let me try to shut that damn thing down. And we'll see if because I don't want people to jump into the wrong live stream here. So all right, we'll just list that to private, and then no one can keep joining in on it. But it's not now. It's not letting me end that other one. Everybody jump into the other damn stream. Tell them to get over into this new one. I don't know why. Yeah, I've got a little news on Coach Red Pill. I got lots of stuff to share, and I'm really not sure why the other live stream will not end, and why and why it won't let me delete it. But we'll figure it out. It's always something, guys. All right. So everybody jump over to the other one, have them jump in this one. I don't know why the other one hasn't shut down or stopped, and I can't delete it yet. I didn't change anything on my end. I just started another stream. So I don't know why. But if you guys don't if you want to know why I don't live stream more often, this is it. This is it. YouTube never plays nice with me. I haven't changed any settings. All right, we'll give them just everybody jump over to that other one and let them know we're over here now. And we've got 308 in the other one. I've still got 780 people. So I don't know if people are making their way over. So we'll give them just another minute, and then and I apologize. Again, I tried to set it up even as an option. All right. Let's start this again officially. All right, we'll start this again officially. Pretend like I haven't been here yet. We're just starting from scratch. Let's hope this doesn't screw up the audio. Guys, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Better Bachelor Live with Joker. Yes, I now for some of you that are jumping in saying, "Hey, why do I have to sign in?" I'm trying to do what I can. I'm trying to do what I can to keep the spammers at bay. So I can't do anything about the streaming quality. Something's on with YouTube tonight. They killed my other stream that I started had no audio. I don't know what happened. So I will try to make this as smooth as possible. And I'm going to read the live chats as they come in, just so I don't scroll back too far and I lose them. But I got a lot of good news to cover for you guys. From Nade. Greetings from Finland. Do you visit here during your travels? I did. I loved Finland and Norway and Sweden and Iceland and all the northern countries. They were wonderful. You said in the video, SMTH. Not sure what that said. about giving you $10 if the moon falls us, and you give billions back if it does not fall on us. So here you go. Yes, I made a bet that basically said, "Hey, if you guys, I'll bet everybody about the moon collapsing in on the planet. I'll pay anyone $1 million or $1 billion or whatever it does if it hits the planet. All you have to do is pay me $10 to get in on the lottery." And this is what I talk about being smart with decisions with your money, because if you gave me the $10 saying, "Hey, a million sounds like a great payout," if the moon hits the earth, none of us survive, so I don't have to pay out anybody. And Warhammer says, "I'm on my Xbox while listening. Mod me up, my man." Yeah, I think I've got a couple of moderators already. My moderator rules are really simple. Do not remove anybody if they disagree with me, want to call me names, hate on me. I don't care. Just remove anybody that's a spammer. That's all I care about. All right. So some of you saying sound issues still, some say everything's fine. We're just gonna pretend and we'll go on. I do want to jump into this story because I think it's important. Coach Red Hill. This is why I always say, guys, hold off on the news, hold off on jumping to conclusions, hold off on freaking out, hold off on getting uh angry. Just hold on things a little bit. You can see here that like Veterans Today and a couple other many channels were saying, "Where is he? Is he dead?" He said if he wasn't going to be online for 12 hours, that he was definitely, absconded. Well, you can see here that even the Veterans Today was saying Gonzalo Lira is dead. He's not. He did an interview on Friday the 22nd. This is from the 20th. There's a couple of YouTube videos out there of him. So apparently he's good. Everything's okay. He said he's fine. He did get taken by the SBU. They did take his phone and his computer and I think some of his accounts. So he turned up. Everything's okay. Everything's all right. So um I don't know why you guys are having struggles with the internet connection. Everything shows that it's okay on my end. So, no, he did not. Coach did not. So you guys don't keep worrying about it. Coach is fine. He's okay. So he did an interview on a couple of channels, and he said he's fine. He just got taken, and all of his accounts were taken. His hardware, his phone, his computer, they're all gone. So, no worries. But this is why I say, why I come at the news sometimes the way I do, and I say, let's just wait a couple of days. Sometimes the people that are first get the most clicks, they get the most views, they make the most money because that's how our news goes. But you gotta wait it out. You gotta wait it out. And I apologize for the stream, guys. I've got everything set here for moderate lag, so I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe try to set your settings a little bit lower. I don't know. YouTube may be messing with me tonight. I don't know. But I've done everything I can on this end, and it shows that I've got really good internet. So try refreshing your page, try clearing your something like that. I'm seeing some videos come out here recently. Will Dog Jones says, "Is there a date for you and Pop to get together?" Not yet. I gotta. I'll try to catch him as soon as I can. I've just been busy as all hell. Um, anyway, I've seen a lot of videos coming out here recently about the Amber Heard, Amber and Johnny trials, and I've been watching it over on Rakita Law. Let me just say shout out to Rakita Law. I think he's in Minnesota, if I'm right. I keep wanting to say Michigan, but I think he's out of Minnesota. Minnesota. And Rakita Law is a great channel. He's kind of a man's man. He sips on his whiskey while he talks about the news and law and everything and he live streams the Heard and Depp trial. So I've been watching over to him, Nick at Rakita Law. Great channel. He's got about the same number of subs that I do over her here, over her. He's got about the same number of subs I have over here. And he blew up during the Rittenhouse trials. He did a great job of covering that. He has other He has other attorneys that are on that kind of cover the law. And even though this isn't his, even though it's not his profession, but one of the important thing. Oh, and for any, let's see, we're gonna start it out low. At any $5 donation, I will take a drink. Tonight's specialty is milk stout nitro. So if anything 5 or more, I will read your comment and I will take a nice big swig of my milk stout nitro that I have on ice. I have 6 of them. If we make it through all 6, by then donation amounts will have to be a lot higher because I'll be absolutely wrecked. So anyway, watching the Johnny and Amber trial, it me personally, I've liked some of Johnny's movies. But he's also been very critical of people that think differently than he does politically, as much of Hollywood does, obviously. So much as to call them stupid and calling them low lives and morons and all that. So I can't say that I love Johnny Depp as a person, because I obviously don't know him as a person, but as an actor, I like him. And one of the things that I when I actually made a super chat to Rakita Law, to Nick over there. And, I said to him, what's sad about this is that a woman can come forward and say a thing, and whether it's true or made up, and instantly a man's career, his livelihood, his prospects of, employment and income and everything else can be yanked away from him just because she said something. And I'm fine with the "also me" movement. I'm fine with that being a thing to try to take power out of the hands of maybe corrupt, older guys that are taking advantage of their position to put women in a bad spot. I get it. But when it becomes to the point where men don't even get a fair shake, to defend themselves, we've got a problem, and it's gone too far. And it's gone too far. David McFarland, a fiver to get you started on Hammer Journey. Haha. Thank you. Thank you very much. And if you hear a little clinging, it's because I'm starting with something other than the beer. We'll work our way there. Mm. So, the original intention of the Also Me movement, I get it. Some of the, upper ups in companies, but what happened is basically Johnny Depp now has had to go to court once in the UK against, I think it was, maybe The Sun or one of the newspapers over there. He had to go to court to try to get anybody to listen to him. And the judge over there did a horrible job, with because from everything that I've read about it, Amber basically showed up with no evidence, and he had tons of evidence, and the judge didn't give him a fair shake. So I think Johnny's getting a fair shake now. But it's costing him millions and an attorney and his credibility and job positions and losing money just to say, would somebody please listen to my side of the story? But in the meantime, a woman can just say, oh, this happened to me. And she didn't even include his name in the story that she wrote about him, but everybody knew it was him and everybody believed her. Let me catch up on these before they disappear for some reason. K 2000 says, can you please explain how to become a member on locals? When I go to annual, it says enter amount. Do I pay whatever I want a year? Okay. So for on locals, you can become a member for free. You just go over, you sign up, put in your email. You can become a member. You can access my website. You can see my videos. You can, I think, read most of the posts unless somebody, whoever's posting it, puts it for supporters only. That's all free, just going over there. And you get my YouTube videos and all my videos without advertising. And yes, you're not paying and you still get access to it. But I'm hoping you eventually say, hey, you know what? I like the ad-free experience. I like the community. I'll give $5 a month or $4 a month for a year if you do the year sign up. To do a supporter, you can do $5 a month, US, or you can do 50 a year, which comes out to be about $4 a month. And then you get all content. You can private message me. We'll have conversations. You can send me stories. You can ask me questions. And it may take me a week sometimes to get back to you because I get tons of people messaging me. But I think for $5 a month to be able to private message the content creator you like and get an ad-free experience and to get a forum where you can talk free speech 100%, I think it's a good deal. So thank you for the advertisement, Kay Funes. And $10. I'm gonna have to get caught up on drinks here. Mm. Some guy all day says 2 chugs for my fellow Gen Xer. Love you, man. Thank you. I love you guys too. You guys are allowing me to do a job that I love. Um, Forum says your audio is doing a weird dropout. I get the impression it's a YouTube problem, not you. Yeah, I mean, that's why I monitor here. Everything's fine. Also, take a drink. Thank you. Okay. After this, you guys are doing great. After I start getting hammered, I'm gonna have to up it to $10. Um, Black Mass says I'm known as Nomad 52 on locals. Cheers, brother. Cheers. Thank you for being a supporter and or member. I appreciate all you do. No question. Just keep up the good work. Having a glass of Jim, good old Jim Beam. You can't go wrong with that. Okay. So what frustrates me about the Amber Johnny, the whole point of it is that nobody gave him a microphone. Nobody listened to him. Nobody even gave him the opportunity to explain his side. He lost the work. He lost the money. He lost credibility with Hollywood, which isn't hard to do anymore because if you stand anywhere left of falling off a cliff, you're out. And I think that's what bothers me the most. I do have this quick story that I want to mention here. This is from Celebrity News at K Brocking. Again, you kind of have to work down through the news sites because you're not going to find this on mainstream stuff. You got to go to some of these back-ended sites to try to find some of this. The Johnny Depp defamation trial just proves that women can have toxic behaviors and can be harmful towards their partners and towards men also. And I agree with this. This is just written from the 21st by Kev Brock. Um, and this is the problem that I have with this stuff is that and I had statistics pulled up, and you know what? I updated my browser and then I lost it and I forgot to pull it back up again. But it's like 48% to 52%. Like it's almost equal between men and women that are harmful to their partners. And where it kind of evens out a little bit is both are verbal. And while men can bring up the old fisticuffs and can be pretty damaging and be pretty harmful, women know they're not as physically strong and are not as powerful. So a lot of times their attack comes when the guy's taking a nap on the couch or he's asleep, or they do it with an object that is perhaps sharp and embedded into a vital organ. And so it's about even. And I saw a post, and I did a video on this a couple of years ago now, where there's like one men's shelter in the United States, but there's over 2,000 for women. And you can't tell me that it's happening to women 2,000 times more than men, but men are told to suck it up. Don't worry about it. If it happens to you, just leave. But what do you do in a case like Johnny, where she goes public with it and starts making accusations in your family and your friends, and people come after you? And that's kind of the big thing that bothers me about all this. Uh, um, Thanks, Ryuhi. Oh man, first let me apologize if I butcher these names. I'm really sorry. I'm a dumb American. Ryuhei Yukiharu. Yukiharu. I hope I'm saying that right. $10. Thank you. Thank you for all your content. Your videos helped me get through a breakup after 10-year plus relationship. Thank you. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping other people find a community where they don't feel like they're alone. $10. Oh my gosh. At this pace, you're gonna get trashed Joker tonight. Milan 90 full Says, regardless of the outcome of the trial, Johnny's reputation has been ruined. Also, they are presenting fraudulent evidence as breaking court rules. Yeah, we're gonna have to see how this plays out. We really are. But at least he's getting some of his evidence out. I mean, the guy's worth several hundred million. I think he had to pay her something like 7. He's worth several hundred million. He'll be fine even if he doesn't get any other work. But it would be sad because I think he's got a lot of good work left in him. But I mean, when a guy's got hundreds of millions of dollars, it's pretty hard to feel bad for him. Um, that his working career is over. But I think we'd lose a lot of good films, a lot of good roles from him. But it's the point that he had to go through this just to be heard, just to have a voice. I'm a Potato says, I was emotionally harmed. Sorry, I got to jump over some of the words because you know how YouTube is. I was emotionally harmed. It cost me $100K over 5 years for family court to prove my innocent for fake home harm and get rid of protection order. And then divorce court gave her the house and she abandoned it. Never again. Yeah, and you guys know I do videos on the $20. Thank you, by the way, for the $20. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know what? I need to bring up a little. I don't want to do a loud cheer button because that gets annoying. I'll do this. Thank you for. Can you guys hear the stings at least? The clapping, I hope. Thank you for that. And Rancho Patriot, $5. Thank you. Yeah, make sure you guys can hear my stings. Otherwise, I'll be doing them all night and I'll be the only one hearing them.
How dare you?
Let me know if you can hear my stings, okay? So, it's frustrating that men have to jump through all these hoops just to be heard. So they say, this is from Kay Brocking. They say, so this week I've started watching some of the Johnny Depp defamation lawsuit trial against Miss Heard. I watched the first 3 videos of Depp's testimony on day 2, and it's pretty interesting stuff. I don't usually care about celebrity power, couples, and don't care about their personal problems, but this one, however, is definitely worth following, in my opinion. I'm totally siding with Johnny. After listening to him speak, I'm siding to him even more. I'm impressed and blown away by him. If you think Johnny Depp enjoys all this fame, think again. He hates the paparazzi, and he doesn't like getting mobbed by fans that much either. He may be one of the biggest names in Hollywood, but he never saw himself in that way. And they go on a little bit. It's a bit of a puff piece, and I'm not going to go too deep down because he obviously is believing Johnny. But I've been listening to the testimony as well, and I got to tell you, I think he did some illicit substances. I think he definitely had some problems with that. I think that they definitely got some fights and some arguments. I'm not saying that he's an angel out of all this. But I am saying that by everything that I've heard so far, now we've just gotten into cross examination and the defense hasn't had the opportunity to rebut. So maybe my mind will be changed some. But so far it sounds, based on the audio, based on the interviews, based on everything, that Johnny is at least at worst no worse than she is, that they're both culpable in this at worst. But at best, he's got a pretty good, case, and he's coming across as believable. And I think it's a shame that men have to go through all these hoops just to get heard. Some guy all day says drink, and that better not be water. No, it's not. And even if it was water at this pace, I got these bad boys to go through. That's definitely not water, but no, it's not water. So it's just a shame that men have to jump through these hoops just to get heard. And the same thing comes through when it comes to child support. There are posts, there's videos, there's articles about what women can do to manipulate the court system and the cops to get more money, to get more child support, to take away custody from him. Like, it's a mess out there. And that's why The truth of it is, because a lot of people that watch me have said, I'm a married person, I'm a married woman, I'm a married man. I still like your content. I've never had anything against the idea of marriage or being in love with someone with marriage. The problem is that when it comes to the divorce and the courts and the child custody and everything else, women win. They win all the things. As was mentioned here, it can cost you 100 grand. You can lose your freedom, you can lose your home, you can lose your property. And it's like signing into a contract. It's signing into a contract that you're basically saying, I give up. Like, if you want to take advantage of me, you can. If you want to run me under the train, you can. I hereby declare you have providence over my life and freedom from here on out. And I'm going to talk about that with the story coming up with well, I'll just jump right into it here. The Will Smith. Now, all these segments I'm going to cut up into smaller segments. So, if you guys want to rewatch these or link to these, I'll be putting these up as individual videos. And I'm pretty sure I'm recording it, right? Yep, I'm recording it. Okay. Will Smith, 175 million, and you're free of her. Now, the reason why I worded it like that is because a lot of people would wonder, why would Will Smith? I think Will Smith was, and again, I don't know him personally, but if you listen to some of his interviews, he wanted to be married. He wanted to have a family. He wanted to have a significant other. And if you listen to interviews with Miss Jada Pinkett, she wanted to throw up when they got married. She was not interested in him, but she did it. They had the family. And when you say, well, why would Will stick around? She's such a horrible person. I mean, dating and banging other guys and well, what if, now again, for us, right? For us normal human beings, we say, well, you're worth 350 million. So if you give up half, you're still worth 175 million dollars. But Will's been pretty rich since he had his first couple of albums out. So he's been living the good life for a long time. Pat Teleron 6 says the whole Amber Johnny stuff is classic example of covert narcissism and gaslighting. Now the details are coming out. Thank you for the 5. At this rate, I'm not going to make it an hour, but I appreciate it. Thank you. And Rakuro said, you missed my last donation. You owe me 2 swigs, Papa Joker. All right, this one's just about killed already. All right. So for us normal human beings, we say, my God, can you imagine having 350 million and to be stuck with this horrible person? Just pay the 175 million and get the hell away from her. But let's bring this back. Remember, these are people that have 20 and 30 million dollar homes. These are people that buy $1 million cars and go on lavish. They buy, on a Friday night, they might drop 20, 30 grand out at a dinner and pub with friends. When you're into that kind of money, let's just lop off some zeros. And let's say some of you guys, let's say you have 350 grand and it's going to cost you 175,000 to get rid of her. All of a sudden you're like, man, that only leaves me with 175 grand. Let's say you've got 35,000 and it's going to cost you 17,500 to get rid of her. When you start bringing those numbers back into our world, like the world of real human beings, you start realizing like, that's a lot of cash. That's a lot of money. And I'm not sure I want to lose that. Bob's one on-site computer repair, single, 47 male, no kids, never married. No woman will ever get half other than the $10 I have saved up to, that I have saved up, ! Point. Drink. See, I'm already starting my words. Oh my gosh. All right, that one's dead. I don't think I'm going to have to. Whew. Excited to see me. All right, let me refill this here quickly. Gonna have me drooling on myself in the next hour here. I can tell already. Might not be as long a stream as I was planning on doing. All right. All right. So, when you bring these numbers back down to the real world, right? You start realizing like, okay, if I'm worth this money, um it again, shrinking that cash down to a normal human size, you realize, yeah, half isn't fair. And here's the thing. Will didn't instigate a lot of this. Will didn't start this. He didn't, he's not the one that stepped out on her. She started this stuff. Well, I have from USA Weekly. Jada Pinkett Smith confirms family's discoveries after Oscar slap will be discussed on the Red Table Talk. Now, the reason why I wanted to read this one is because instead of talking about it, instead of discussing it, Jada Pinkett Smith used Will's slap and his issues to push as a promo her show on Red Table Talk. You want to talk about someone that's mentally, emotional damage. You want to talk about someone who's a horrible person. Imagine using your husband's grief and maybe his cuckoldry and or his willing to put up with it and his emotional instability and him being upset or angry or whatever. Imagine using that to promote your program. And she says, "Oh, well, we're working through this." Give me a break. Give me a break. Um and so I just I jump in and read these. I don't have any moderators or anybody else here helping me, and I don't want to miss any of these super chats. That's why I keep breaking this up and reading them. K Funes, a 2021-year-old graduating with an aerospace engineering degree in May. What advice do you have? Save your money, buy land, buy a house, do everything debt free, pay for cash, save it until you can buy something outright, and keep your money to yourself. And if you want to date, guys, if you want to date, you want to get out there in the market and have some fun, go for it, man. I'm not anti-woman or anti-dating or anti-sleeping around or having your fun. Just understand what you're getting into and understand that the one that you think you're going to fall in love with and she's going to be by your side forever, they all are when they say I do. But when they say I don't and want to take out half your crap, he says, getting a job for 2 years while I get fit, would like to get married one day, but odds aren't ideal for now. Look, the laws got to change, fellas. The laws need to change before you get married because otherwise you're literally just saying, I hereby trust you so much that I don't think you're going to take half my crap later. And also you can behave very badly and be unattractive to me and treat me poorly and you still get half. That is a stupid contract. I mean, that's like getting in business with somebody, like a buddy of yours, and saying, if the company ever breaks up, even though it's 90% my investment, if the company ever breaks up or you run off with money or cheat on the business or screw me legally or steal my wife, you get half the company. Who would sign that? You've got to be a maniac. And also, I have to drink. Mm. Real Jiffy resident says nerd checking. It's the female dog throttling the tube. I don't think they care about me that much. I'm not that big a name yet. And Fan I Am says a great game for chilling out, but mentally stimulating is The Witness. Great visuals for streaming too. Check out the trailer in your own time. The Witness. All right, let me make a note of that. A lot of times when I always grab a notepad and pen so that if you guys ever mention anything to check out, I actually do check it out. I do actually pay attention. Also, I have to drink. Okay, so she's going to be using this story, this issue with her husband to drum up business for herself. You've got to be kidding me. They say a transparent conversation. Jada Pinkett Smith confirmed a conversation about Will Smith slapping Rock at the Oscars will happen during a future episode of Red Table Talk. So she's using it to promote a later date. And she says, considering all that has happened in the last few weeks, the Smith family has been focusing on deep healing. Right. Press X for doubt. Some of the discoveries around our healing will be shared at the table when the time calls. A statement from Pinkett Smith 50, right ahead of the season 5 premiere of Red Table Talk. Says until then, the table will continue offering itself to powerful, inspiring, and healing testimonies like that of our incredibly first guest. Thanks for joining us, Jada. So after her giving him the stink eye, after videos of her treating him poorly on video, after her stepping out on him, and whether you agree they were open or not, Will doesn't seem too thrilled. After making him cry and saying that she really enjoyed basically her son's friend doing the old in and out on her, after all that, they call him nothing. They call him poisonous, bad, toxic, whatever. But she is powerful, inspiring, and healing. Let's reverse this, right? Do you think that if a woman was upset and maybe slapped another co-host or something on the Oscars and and that he had gone out and slept with one of his daughter's friends, do you think that he would be the hero out of any of this? Would he be getting the interviews? Would he be told he's stunning and brave and strong to put up with this emotionally hard time?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so, sir.
Are you joking me? You know, and as long as they promote this message, as long as they promote this lopsidedness where, you know, women can do no wrong and men are bad no matter what they do. Let me tell you something that's going to be very key here. Here's what's going to happen. Mark my words. Men are going to start checking out. They're going to start checking out of the universities. They're going to realize going a couple $100,000 into debt to get a degree to do something they want to do, where they're not, believe it or not, there's a lot of stories out now where, you know, the message is now taught, and they're not actually learning much in college. They're going way deep into debt. And while the guy's at college, he's told you must believe everything that is left and everything that is female and ladies and wonderful and you as a man, especially if you're Caucasian or something, you are evil, you're a bad person. Do you think men are going to keep writing checks for that? They may now, but eventually they won't. And do you think women will step up and fill these positions? No. I mean, they may fill some of them, but men will go back to keeping the world running, being welders and truckers and, you know, making 100 right now. Like I said, Walmart is now paying $110,000 a year to a trucker. You know, those guys are going to, and what happens when things start to break down? What happens when we do enter a financial crunch and people are not buying HBO and Netflix and they don't have the money to go out to amusement parks or to the movies or to buy subscriptions to XYZ? Those companies start losing money. They start shaving people. Who are they going to shave first? The padded, you know, empowered positions. You know who's still going to retain their job and their income? The men doing the dirty work. You're always going to need roofs and air conditioning and oil derricks and welders and carpenters and electricians and plumbers. You're always going to need those. You can't ship those jobs overseas. But as long as we have the extra money, these positions are going to go. Mike Bolton says, chug mofo, semper fi. Semper fi, thanks for your service. He says SRT TWR 8151. Fan I am says a transparent conversation. Oops, that hopped away from me. Let me find it again. or a transparent conversation. Thank you for the fiver. A squid says squid, 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 squid. I hope I said that correctly. Thank you, squid. Oh my gosh, you guys are going to knock me off my shoes here. This is only 6% alcohol by volume. It's not super high. The last drink I had was probably on my birthday, like 6 months ago. Whereas my mind says, thank you for the fiver. I was very fortunate to find you, BB, during my divorce. I could only imagine how much you help others. Thank you. Thank you. You know, a lot of other content creators, whether it was Coach Greg Adams or Coach Red Pill or Sandman or TFM, you know, those are guys were around before me. I gained from them and I learned, but I also had my own information I wanted to talk about. And hopefully someday there's going to be more content creators that keep coming out with this. Also, that's 5, so I got a drink. JJ says, mowing the lawn while I'm listening to you. I'm a local sub. Thank you, sir. But I want to keep supporting you. Save my shot tonight for when I finally get to meet you and shake your hand when you get to this retreat up and going. Love you, Joker. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Yeah. It's a little ways away. I got to get my own stuff built, my own house and land and everything squared away. But everything that's donated and given over at locals, I put into its own little bucket, and that'll going towards the men's retreat. And many of you that donated to help my father out before he passed away, the money that I had set aside for his retirement funds and helping my family out, that's still going to help my mom. But I'm also going to be putting that over to a men's retreat. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And Zuranks, $10. Thank you. Bear in mind that Mary Kay Letourneau got interviewed by Barbara Walters back in the day. She met her now ex though she's passed away, when she was a teacher at his old school and he was 7 years old. That's creepy. So she was her now ex, she was a teacher and he was 7. That's weird. But all you have to do is look in the news. I mean, teachers are behaving horribly. And these are female teachers that are acting horribly. Okay, let me get through the rest of these, then I'll get back to the story. Lured Moore says, shout out to Joker and the stacked deck of brothers. There you go. Thank you. Brandon Pumpfree says, first time in my life having enough money sitting in my bank to buy a new car outright. My secret, no maidens. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to make my sips just slightly smaller here, else I'll be like all over the place. Yeah, you know, you don't realize it, but the girlfriend saying, I want to go out and get a bite to eat. Let's have date night. And I want to go to the movies. And if you're married, I want a newer car, or I need extra makeup, or I bought this new cute outfit. Like, it all adds up. Guys are so simple. Like, this sweatshirt I'm wearing now is like 5 or 6 years old. And you guys see me, I'm always in like a zipped hoodie or something. I have like 4 or 5 sweatshirts. They're all 5 or 10 years old. Same old, because they don't have holes in them. They keep me warm. They're clean. I don't care what I look like. I mean, isn't that obvious? Just look at me. I don't care what I look like. So even these glasses, and you guys really can't see it, but on the one side of the glasses, there's little imprint dimples on these glasses. They were bitten by a puppy. That puppy is now 4. They were on the floor and the puppy bit the glasses. And since they're plastic lenses, I still wear them because they're relatively in the right focus. I don't care that they have dog chew marks. I just don't care, because I'm kind of cheap when it comes like that. And so we can save our money for the real things we want. Elias, found you when you're still adding wood panels to your bus, and you've taught me so much as well as entertained. Keep spreading the good word. Med need your help. Thank you. Bus is still, for those of you that asked, bus is still good. It's sitting in storage. I had it fixed, and they didn't get the oil or the So you have your oil pan on the bottom of an engine. For those of you that are not familiar with engines, you have oil in your engine and it's held in a pan at the bottom of the engine. And when your engine's running, it cycles the oils past the valves, keeps everything lubricated. And there's a gasket that holds the pan up to the engine. And if that gasket has a tear or a hole in it, oil can leak out. And when you're driving the bus down the road, if it's leaking out, it blows back along the bottom of the oil pan, hits the sensor on the transmission, kills the transmission. Like the engine, the transmission's still good, but the electronics get screwed up and it won't shift right. Well, I got that fixed and I made it about 600 miles down the road and it happened again. And I said, you know what? The price of fuel skyrocketing. The bus is way too big to get into a lot of the parks that I want to go to. And it was a learning lesson. The bus was just too big. So I parked it for now. Now, once I get the land in Tennessee, I'll get the bus fixed. I'll move the bus to the Tennessee, and it may still be my recording office. I may turn it into an Airbnb. That may be my bedroom on the men's retreat. That may be my place, and I'll have some place for everybody else. I don't know, but the bus is good. And the wood paneling, the cedar, it still smells beautiful. Ray, oh boy. Okay, Ryu says, thank you for letting me know I can call you a short name. Another 20, thank you. You guys just want me to go till I pass out tonight. Ryu says, you can just call me Ryu. I think men are like bees. They're absolutely necessary for society, but people are very ignorant of how much. By the time the damage is done is realized, it'll be too late. Parentheses drink, which I just did. I agree wholeheartedly. By the time society realizes what they're doing to the young and to the men and to everybody else, it's going to be way, way too late. We're damaging the next generation coming up. And we're already seeing these effects. Where are we seeing it? Women are graduating 60% let me reword that. 60% of graduates from college are women. 40% are men. We're seeing the effects of that. Young people cannot afford homes because they're not getting married, and men are doing their men things and women are doing their women things, and they're all becoming renters, and men are not stepping up, so to speak, to support the family. Marriages are down, divorces are up, childbirth down. All those effects are already coming through. What's something like 30% of young men now have never had intimacy with a woman. A large portion haven't even gone out on a date or kissed women. You're seeing it. Where the fallout happens is probably for those of you that are a little younger than I am. I'll probably see it in my retirement years. But you're going to see the trades. I think trades are going to increase. College is going to decrease. We're still in for a very hard financial couple of years, at least. And I think things are going to fall apart. So those of you that are focusing on the manual trades and the work type stuff, I think are going to be much better. I want to get through these super chats before they disappear. So hang with me here. KFUN is 2000, another 10. I have a MS in Aerosmith. Let's see. And girls still more likely to get a job for diversity. Yeah. Oh, there's an article I read, and it was at Ohio State, I think, where they were not allowing men and white men specifically to participate in debates. They're just not even allowed to speak anymore. And I did a video on the jobs up in Canada where they were saying, like, if you're not a person of bi, pi, tri, BPOC, whatever, if you're a straight white guy, don't show up. Like, we're just not hiring. He said, we hear the BS while more women needed. Capstone and the two girls on my team just complain, and they only plan things. Yeah, I think the thing is what's going to happen is, women do not want to work from 21 until the grave. They don't. They want to work and they want to enjoy their career. Then a lot of them say, I want to meet a man and have a family, and I want a traditional man, but also I'm not a traditional woman. And they want to, they may work for 10 or 15 or 20 years, but at some point they start thinking about a family. Well, now the men are not wanting to participate in the family. The men are not wanting to participate in marriage. And I actually have an article on this I'm going to do here shortly. Let me jump to it here. And I'll get back to it. But yeah, you'll see right here. The pay gap is officially gone. And what's the but? But now women can't find men that they want because women want to be ultra successful, but they still want to date up. Well, there's not that many ultra successful men out there. And so women are like, I can't find anybody. Hello. What's going on? But I'll talk about that here in a little bit. Steve John says, "Hey, Joker, love your work. Wanted to send you a link, but YouTube blocked it. Google Men's Sheds UK. Great project. Okay. Men's Sheds UK. It's probably going to have me looking at lawnmower sheds. Fan Am says again, learn to love life, not women. Yep. And here's the thing. If you want to love women, just love life, and the women will show up if you have a good life. Venetia, Venticus Prime, you guys and your names, Venicus Prime. I'm just going to go for full misogynist, tell women their places in the office so I don't have to work. Yeah, works for me. Thank you for the fiver. Palea, you guys, and you, what happened to just Bob 12? Pelagic 6 says $50. Oh, let me give you a clap for that. Thank you. I don't have a loud cheer roar. I should have. He says, thank you for what you do. Thank you very, 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 very much. But I'm not taking 10 drinks for that because I will be out on the floor. Sorry, I'm just getting through. I don't do live chats often, so I get a lot of you guys donating here, and I want to get through them because the last thing I want to do is not. But we'll get to the stories, guys. Tim Puck says, "Drink, comrade, $50. Thank you, thank you." Let me get the applause again button. Thank you, thank you. Rodrigo de Silva says, Joker, you should do more lives. God bless you. I plan to, guys. Most of the time I want to do them on locals because I don't have to watch my words and I can say everything. Hermit Stu says, appreciate your efforts, Joker, a refreshing voice of reason in what appears to be the age of lies. If the option's available, please don't drink for this one. Good health and a long life. Like I said, I am going to, okay, I'll hold off on the drink because more are coming in here, but this is probably the first alcohol I've had in 6 months. Like I really do not drink much. Coffee is about the biggest thing I do. G-Man 73, another round for G-Man for $73. Thank you. Very, very nice. My father is 73. I'm 51. Living with him now to help him through his medical. Hope to have 20 acres and a mule soon. Love any advice for this lifetime renter. Drink exemption given. Thank you. Take care of your dad. Take care of your father. That's first and foremost. He took care of you. Take care of him. And you look, here's the thing. You may not be able to save up. And right now, the housing market and land and all that's just gone nuts. If you're willing to move and relocate and live near a smaller town, you can get some affordable land and then get a little trailer, get a little something to put on it, enough that you're debt free and can call it your own. Then you save the money for the next big thing, whether you want to build a house, whether you want to eventually sell it and move up. But when you're a renter, they can always say, hey, your rent's going up $100 or $200. You know, they have control over your life. The big thing for me is have as few people as possible telling you what you need to do, can do, should do, would do. Try to truly be a free man. And you know, when I did my trip, my 36 country backpacking extravaganza across the country, I slept in bushes. I slept in my tent. Sometimes I just slept under an overhang when it was pouring out and I couldn't set up my tent. I might go to a bus station or something. I stayed the night in hostels. I traveled by hitchhiking or by bus, sometimes plane when I needed to cross over oceans and stuff. That year cost me like 12,000 US. Well, here rent is $1,500 a month just for your rent, not including utilities and all the extras. It was cheaper for me to travel around the world owning nothing but what was in my backpack, some clothes and some other things. That was cheaper than having an apartment. You know, be creative and think outside the box, literally, when it comes to your adventure in life. You know, I did that roundabout trip at 46, I think I was 45. You know, be creative with it. But you have to understand we've got a finite amount of time here on the planet, period. A finite time. If you get to it, you get to enjoy it. And the sooner you get to it and get to enjoy it, the longer you have to think about it. But even if you get there later in life, like I did, I didn't have my first passport till I was 44, 43. I'd never left the country. So, well, I did, but it was very limited Canada kind of thing. So, I didn't start my travels until my 40s. You younger guys out there that are like the engineer, whatever, getting a jump on this, maybe travel's not important to you. Save your money. When you think, oh, my phone works, but the new iPhone or Android or whatever is out, ask yourself, is that new three, five, $700 phone worth it? Or can I tuck that in the bank or invest it or save it for purchasing a car or something I want later in life and just keep using the old thing? I can tell you this, you'll never be happier buying things because you buy that new phone and you're, oh, it's so awesome and it's wonderful. Oh, I love this thing. You know what it is 2 weeks later? It's just your phone. It's just your phone again. So just remember that. At 51, like we're around the same age, not too late to start. You can start at 50 because if you're going to live to 75 or 80, you got another 30 years left. Don't think 50 is anywhere near the end of your path. You can just get started at 50 if you really want to. And those of you that are 20, 30, 40, hey, make those adjustments in your life. Whether it's eating healthier, whether it's even if you don't have a gym membership, you can go outside and run 5 miles a day. And I know I'm getting off on a tangent, but my advice is for a lifetime renter, get a little tiny piece of property. Get a little tiny trailer on it. It's yours. You own it. You don't own anyone. There's no interest, nothing. Keep your used vehicle and then save your money and then upgrade. Because otherwise, you're gonna be paying interest. Thomas Parker says, Joker, you need to do another movie night. Love the John Carpenter's The Thing. I do plan to be doing one. I was gonna do one tonight, but instead I had so many stories and news I just wanted to get out. And I was bored. Honestly, when I go to YouTube, I don't have Hulu and I don't have Netflix and I don't have HBO Plus. I have none of that. My entertainment comes from YouTube. And when I go to YouTube and I'm like, there's no new videos today because it's the weekend and people decided not to do anything. That's why I'm like, let me do a video. Maybe people will enjoy that because I can't find anything. So uh Venticus Prime says people don't ask questions until it's too late. That's always the way it is. All right. I'm catching up on these live chats here. Thank you guys so much for the love, man. I appreciate all this. Okay, let me just read through these because I want to keep on the story. I want to keep going down our news. So let me just read through these. It doesn't mean I care any less, but Freedom and Road 1776, $20. Thank you, sir. My ex left me after I got her out of much dental debt, and then when she left, I bought the things that I love, like 8 and 7-string guitars, which she hated metal. Now I'm 29, love the time I have to follow my passions. Yeah, you paid her way out, and then she bounced. Makes you feel pretty used, doesn't it? See, when men use women, it's evil. When women use men, it's just oopsie. Oopsie. SH, $10, working in corporate IT in the last 10 years, got sick of the corporate BS and going into truck driving. Last straw was when they required our pronouns in the email signature. Yeah, I'd be out. All my life, I wanted to be a network engineer. I did it for 10 years and then I left it. If I have to go back to work, like if YouTube kicks me off and I don't have enough locals, supporters and whatever, I'll have to go back to a 9 to 5. Man, maybe I'll go back and learn some electrician or become an apprentice. Or maybe by then, if my land is set up and I have enough for my own, like I can become somewhat of a farmer, maybe I just retire on what I have and do this stuff for free. Fuzzy Logic says, thanks, Joker. Been watching you since before the bus. Member on Locals. Drink, don't drink, go your own way. Thank you, sir. I'll grab a sip here in a second. Mike Bolton says, imagine if you found a few like-minded guys and you all threw in and build a compound on some cool land. That's kind of my hope. Like I hope to build the Bachelor kind of place. But there won't be a lot of finances involved from a lot of people. And that way, if I decide to do something with the land, I can. But that it'll be available for you guys. Chad, Glamuzina says, aside from a cruise, I really haven't traveled and I'm 40. Guess I need to get cracking. It's up to you. Like, if travel's not important, save it. Buy your own place, buy some land. Some guy all day. Cheers, Joker. I'm 43, single for years, never been happier. Been chasing my dreams instead of women. Being alone equals loneliness, or does not. The exclamation equals is a not symbol for those of you. Being alone does not equal loneliness. Right, exactly. You can be alone, but it doesn't mean you're lonely. Okay, let's keep on our story here. Thank you guys for. I know some of you get like, oh, just do the news, dude. Too many super chats, but when people donate and want to say something, for me, it's really important that I let their voices speak too. So anyway, so Jada here, they're they go on saying, oh, it's powerful and inspiring that Jada is coming out talking about their family issues, all of which she caused. All of which she caused. And he thought he was going to man up and show her that he's a masculine, tough guy by going up and slapping Chris Rock. And all he did is look like an emotional baby. And he blew it. And he blew it. He looked like a simp wimp he embarrassed himself. But they go on here, and now Jada Pinkett Smith, for putting up with this and for the incredible, horrible, debilitating thing that she suffers from, which is hair loss. It's debilitating. And look, I know about alopecia. You know how I know? I dated a girl that had it once. And at the time she was in her late 20s, she had alopecia. She wasn't bald, but it was thinned a little bit at the top, but it's not like you could see the shine of her, her head off of it. And she says when it gets bad, she's like, I like wigs. And she actually had some pretty cool looking wigs. So if she wanted to be a redhead one night, she'd be that, and a brunette the next night, and a blonde the next night. She'd just wear different wigs. I think she didn't tell people publicly that she had it, but she's like, it is what it is. Now, if a 28-year-old, like, average person from North Carolina, if she can be okay with it, how is it multi-millionaire who seems to have everything just shaved it? Because she had stubble all over it. But if it's debilitating for her, how is it not debilitating for a guy like me? So she's stunning and brave, and she's using this. And here's the thing. This is from OK News, but Will and Jada Smith could have one of the ugliest divorces in showbiz history. Because she's not going to let him go lightly. She's a horrible person, at least from everything we've seen. She's not a very good person. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she's a wonderful person, but all the videos that have leaked out and the way she talks down to him and, kind of sleeping with their son's friend doesn't put her in exactly a good light, makes her kind of toxic. You think she's just going to walk away and be like, no, I'm good. She's going to wreck him just to punish him for leaving her. That's what they say. Actor Will and Jada's relationship might be on the rocks in light of Will's actions at the Oscar. So isn't it funny that he puts up with all her crap and everything she's done to him, treating him poorly, all this crap, and what happens? She's the hero because she's going to walk away. And she's the hero. All because he simped out. Will and Jada may be described as one of the ugliest divorces in showbiz history. And why do they think it's going to be the ugliest? Because they know Jada is a spiteful, evil person. Probably. It's believed tension has allegedly grown between the pair following Will's explosive actions. Again, now they're going to blame this marriage falling apart on Will. Now, granted, what he did wasn't great, but they're going to blame it on him for being toxic and slapping and all this other stuff. When he's not in a good mental place. After he hit the comedian, Jada is thought to have been seen laughing from her seat, which she was. She later broke her silence and shared a cryptic message on Instagram saying that it was the season of healing. Just making stuff up. And of course, Will apologized. Here's what I don't get, okay? And I mean this, honestly. All right, she's not an unattractive 50-year-old woman. And do you see what I'm talking about here? She's got stubble all over the place. Yeah, her hair may be thinning a tiny bit, but she's got a pretty much a full head of hair. You're gonna tell me that this is debilitating disease? Give me a break. Give me a break. I've been bald since I was like 30. Now I have stubble up here, but I don't want to have the cul-de-sac, as they call it, which is the bald head on top and the hair, the horseshoe. And so for 50, she's an attractive woman. But here's the thing, she's 50 and she's cheating and stepping out on you and mentally screwing with your head. I don't understand why he doesn't just bounce. Why doesn't he just bounce? Like, okay, yeah, it might cost him 175 in the divorce because in here they say that he's worth, they say right here, there have been problems for years, but they're barely speaking right now. If they were to split, Will has a fortune of 350 million that Jada would be entitled to half under California law. So even though she slept with one of her son's friends, even though she treats him like crap, she gets half of his empire. And they say Will has a fortune of 350 million. You notice she doesn't have a fortune. You notice she doesn't have this big empire that he can leech off of, but she gets to take half of his. They said Will obviously doesn't want that, but there's only so much he can take. Well, of course, why is this? What is going on with this cursor? Bad web page design. But they say here, Will obviously doesn't want that, but there's only so much he can take. Well, of course, because they know she's the toxic one. They know she's the toxic one and running him through the loop. Of course. And it's just sad because he could leave her, pay his 175 million, and then you know what? He's Will Smith. He's a good-looking guy. If you've seen in some of his movies, he can still pretty easily get back into good shape. And he'd probably have his choice of women. He'd probably have his choice of women, but he doesn't do it. And I saw this, and this reminded me of this situation. A woman can smile like you, like a woman can smile at you like this after sex and be plotting to leave your A at the same damn time. That's what this situation reminds me of. She's saying it's a moment of healing and that the family's moving on and we're going to get through this. Also, please tune in to my later television show where I'll be talking about this. And also, I'm going to take half. And here's the truth. Do I feel bad for Will Smith? Not one bit of me feels bad for Will Smith. Now, there's not this much that feels bad for Will. Why? He wanted to get married. He got involved with a woman that was with Tupac Shakur, who had her own issues. He had kids with her. She's obviously treated him poorly because you can see on video her treating him poorly. She's milking the situation. It's mentally deranged him. He could have walked away probably when he was worth 250 million. He could have probably walked away when he was worth 100 million. He's had all the opportunity in the world to stick around. And this is one of the things that blows me away when people say, "Oh, I'm in a horrible toxic relationship," or my boyfriend or my girlfriend does this to me. You say, "Okay, well, leave." Yeah, I should. No, don't should. Leave. Yeah, I would, but just leave. And you know what these people do? These are the same people that every time you see them and you go, "Hey, man," or "Hey, girl," or whatever. "Hey, person, how's it going?" They go, "Oh, pretty good." "Oh, you wouldn't believe what my whatever, boyfriend, girlfriend, you won't believe what they did to me today or this week." And all they do is complain about their relationship, but they don't leave it. They don't change it. They don't improve their situation. And I just do not understand people that do that in life. How are things? Things are bad. What is bad? X. Okay, how can you change X? You can do this and this and this and this and this. And then and you may even help them through this. I had a friend, I did have a friend that was in a bad place. And I tried to help and I gave advice and I do what I do on my channel, which is, hey, I'm no expert, but here's some things that like help me out and improve my life. and you give them this advice, they go, "Wow, man, thanks. That's really I appreciate that. That really helps. That makes me feel better. Thank you so much." And then the next time you talk to them, and you, "Hey, man, what's going on?" They're in the same damn place they were last time. But except now they have a whole bunch of new stories to complain about. If those people will not move on and learn from their mistakes, you shouldn't and can't support them and be friends with them. And it's hard, especially when it's somebody you care for, whether it's a family member or friend. Just because they keep putting their life in a toxic, bad place doesn't mean every time you interact with them, you have to hear them talk and complain about their toxic, bad place. Move on. Just get past it. And so this is a friend that I tried to help, and I said, "That's it. I'm done. Like, I can't be friends with you anymore." And for years after that, they were still in the same bad place, except now I didn't have to listen to them complain and bitch about it. So guys, if you are in a bad place, it doesn't matter, relationship, job, you're a renter and want to be a homeowner, you owe a ton of money on your new car and that lease payment or that car payment's killing you. Go trade it in and downgrade. You got a woman that is giving you a headache, but she's fun sometimes or okay other, just get rid of it. You're a renter, save up and get some land. Get rid of all the annoyances. Because I'll tell you something, and I learned this firsthand, and I legitimately mean this. I sleep better at night in a tent, in a sleeping bag, in Iceland, in the rain, in 10 degrees Celsius or 40 degrees Fahrenheit, whichever way you want to call it. I was alone. I'm in a sleeping bag. I got no TV, no internet signal. I've got a Kindle with a book I can read on it. Okay, had nothing. A tent, I was dry, I was warm with a sleeping bag. Taking it back to basics. That's all I had for weeks on end. And I was happier then than I was in a bad relationship when I had a nice house and a nice car and a nice job and money to spend, but you're laying in a bed with somebody that doesn't care for you or doesn't love you or gives you headaches, or you're at a job with somebody annoying the hell out of you. Get rid of all that noise and get back down to basics, just the simple things in life, and you'll be happier with nothing. What do they call it? Maslow's hierarchy. Let me look this up. Maslow's hierarchy, and this is off the top of my head. Like, I wasn't planning to talk about this, but I do wanna point this out um, because this is kind of important, and I don't know if this is 100% accurate. I just pulled this up. But the hierarchies of need: breathing, food, water. Now they put here Now this and they say this is from Wikipedia. I don't know but they put breathing, food, water, sex, sleep, homeostasis, and excretion. I don't agree with all of this on the same base. I would put the sexual one probably too higher up into the loving and belonging, unless you want to count taking care of business yourself. If you wanna do the stroke and choke yourself, then you can put that down, but without breathing, you're dead. Without food, you're dead. Without water, you're dead. Without sleep, you're dead. Without excretion, you're dead. Without being able to crank one off, you're not dead. So I wouldn't put that down. But they say above that, safety, security of body, safety, of employment or resources, of morality, of the family, of health, and of property. You notice this is next, right? Being safe. You have income, you have resources, you have morality, which is your own sense of morals, of how you should be treated and treat others, of your family, of your health, and of your property or your belongings. I still don't see anything about relationships in this stuff. They say then above that is love and belonging, friendship, family, and intimacy. But down here, if you're not able to pay your bills, or you're stressed out about um, making that car payment, or your girl's always wanting to go out and do something, they say here of employment and of resources, you don't have the resources, you don't have the money. if you're stressed about money and bills and your rent payment and things like that, you're just one above, just barely getting by. You got to take care of that first before you worry about friends and family and intimacy. This is where dating comes in. Well, if you don't have resources, if you don't have money for yourself, if you don't have your own your own bag in hand, if you don't have your own health, how are you going to worry about the other stuff? You're getting stuff out of order. Then above there comes self-esteem, confidence, achievement, respect of others, and respect by others. Now, you could tie that into friendship and family. And the self-actualization, when they talk about morality, I think they talk about morality twice because they also say down here morality. I think morality is more of a base level type thing. I think if you're odds and you're like if you're religious but doing things that are opposing your religion, you have to let one of those go. You can't be okay with both. So I think morality actually belongs lower in safety. But they say creativity, spontaneity, problem solving, acceptance of facts. But so many people skip over a couple of these levels and they lose sleep, which is a base one. They lose eating correctly because of stress, or they lose working out because of this, over a relationship, over a job, over take it back to the basics. Take it back to the basics. And that's what Will, I think, got wrong in a lot of ways. To finish up on Will is, he's not securing his bag, he's not securing his happiness and his own self-fulfillment, but he's trying to, deal with a wife and deal with the Oscars, deal with all this other stuff. Peace of mind. If you have nothing, but you're warm and you're dry and you're well fed and you enjoy where your money comes from and you enjoy a very small cluster of friends, you will enjoy that life much more than being rich and having a wife that's stepping out on you, but you have the fancy car and maybe you got a mistress on the side and your kids are doing something in school. Like too much distraction, too much noise. Take it back to the basics. All right. So the pay gap, I want to talk about this one because according to this report, once again, let me take a sip here. You guys have slowed down. I might actually stay conscious for a while. We've been talking about the pay gap is BS, this 73 cents on every dollar. We've been talking about this for years now. Well, finally, they're agreeing with us. They're like, hey, you know what? Actually, if you get away from the narrative and you actually look at scientific studies and reports, turns out women are making about as much money as men. Shocking, isn't it? Because here's the thing, if you really could pay women 73 cents on for every dollar of what a man makes, they'd just hire women and save the company 27% of their income. So obviously it's a lie. But they say women ultimately pay the price for finally earning as much as men.
Classic move. Oh, yeah.
So isn't it amazing, guys, that women, when they finally make as much money as men and that gap is closed and we're all equal, women are still the victims. Oh, so shocking. I pushed the wrong button. There we go. So can you believe it, guys? The pay gap's gone, but now women are now paying the price for the pay gap being gone. Shocking. Where's my shocking? I haven't played a shocking in a while.
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
Women getting paid as much as men, women are the ones most affected. And you know something? It's actually true because this is, again, if you guys watch this content and have for the last couple of years, we talk about this. We say, hey, you know what, ladies, you're not going to be happy if you're equal to the men. And they say they're not happy when they're equal to the men. Why? Because women, it's called hypergamy. Hypergamy is real. Women still want to date a man that is better than themselves. They want to latch onto a guy that is more successful and more intelligent and more attractive and has more money. Why? Because if things go bad for her, she'll still be living at that same lifestyle and level and be as secure as she's always been. But when a woman is the bread earner and the woman is the smartest one and the woman is the strongest one, they feel alone. It scares them. Robert P. Elliott says, first time here. Do you read super chats, Joker? No, I do not. I'm sorry. I do not read any super chats here on this channel. So they say there was a lot of great news for women in the workplace last month. Oh, because this just happened last month, not really 10 or 15 years ago. First, Pew Research released a new analysis of U.S. Census data that revealed women under age 30 now out-earn men the same age in 22 metropolitan areas in the country. All right, let me read this because Robert just sent that in and I made fun of him. Robert says, hey, I'm 39, makes six figures, currently dating a 40-year-old divorcee. No kids, house foreclosed, and it's about to file bankruptcy. Great chemistry with her, looking for a long-term relationship, not married. What do you think, BB? What would you do? You're 39, you make six figures, and you have no kids. I'm not sure if you're saying the 40-year-old divorcee has no kids, her house is foreclosed and about to file bankruptcy. I'm guessing you're saying that's her. Here's what you do. I wish I had a cartoon noise of the legs kind of running in air. Get the hell out of there. Of course you have great chemistry with her, and she's probably doing all the sucking and effing and everything else you could want. You're her lifeline, my friend. She'll give you everything you want right up until she doesn't think that you're going to stick around or until you marry her. You're 39 making six figures and you have no kids, I guess. Dude, you're right in prime dating. You're right in prime dating age. You're with a 40-year-old that obviously is not good with her finances. If her home's being foreclosed on, that is the biggest bill. That is the most important check you have to write every month. And she couldn't cut that, so the home goes into foreclosure and she goes bankrupt. Basically, what she's telling you is, I'm 40, I have no kids, and I still can't manage my finances, and I still manage to screw up the biggest stuff in my life. But also, please pick me. No. You want to keep her as casual? Even if she's the only woman you're dating, I'm not saying you have to go out and get a bunch of side chicks and all that. Even if you keep her as the only person you're dating, I would not get serious with this person. She's showing, remember, it's show me, not tell me. She can tell you whatever she wants. What she's showing you is she's irresponsible and she's not a good risk. And you may very, very much be her bailout. Be very, very careful, Robert. And don't accidentally do the oopsie. She's now got a kid on the way. She's now preggers. Be very, very careful. Now she's 40, so that risk is lower. Be careful.
Is this a dead man, Doctor?
Very dead, Mr. Spock.
You're in danger land, my friend. Chad says, so equal or more pay, yet still hypergamous. Oh, yeah, women are always hypergamous, and I'll talk about that in a second. And Tim Pock says, drink, comrade, drink. That's a $50 one. I'll make that one a big one. That's worth a lot of drinks right there. So yeah, you may care for her, but look, we hear stories all the time about women trapping men. There's a reason why she likes to do all the things you like up until you get married, and then it goes away. She caught you. She's dangling the lure out there that is attractive. It's getting your attention. And the minute you bite onto that and she reels you in, game over, man. Game over, man. What's that from? The original Alien, I think. Let's nuke it from orbit. Game over, man. Game over, man. And you're 39 making six figures. Like, if you're in decent shape, and you got a kind of an interesting or fun personality, you could be out there dating women from the age of 22 to whatever. And I'm not saying you need to go young. I'm just saying it's all open to you. 20 somethings, 30 somethings, 40 somethings. But when somebody, let's reverse this. Say you're the guy with the bankruptcy and you're getting foreclosed on your mortgage. Do you think she'd be with you? Serious question. Would she be with you? Or is she with you because you make six figures, you're her age, and she's not good with her money? Always look at the outlying circumstance. So I'd say enjoy your time with her. Have fun. If you like hanging out with her, continue to date her. I'm not saying throw her away. She might be an awesome woman. But if she's like this with her own money, how do you think she's going to be with your money? How do you think she's going to be if you got married? She's going to be worse because it's not even her money, and she blew her own money. She couldn't handle it. Zernak says, Thomas Sowell said, when comparing like with like, women make more than men in the 1980s. Also, women outnumber men in college uni campuses since 1979. CGA covered this. Researchers are ostriches. Yeah, I've done videos on this stuff too. Like I said, 60% of women are now graduating college versus 40% of men. It's a 60-40 ratio. So now, but this is the key, guys. Again, listen to the wording. A lot of great news for women. They now out-earn men in 22 metropolitan areas of the country. That's women are making more than men now. While the numbers varied by geography, women in New York City and Washington, D.C. earned 102% of what similarly aged men earn, rising to a truly whopping 120% in Wenatchee, Washington, a large town a few hours outside of Seattle. I bet that's great news for women. That means that for every dollar women are making, men are making about 80 cents. Well, gee, that sounds fair. I'm a Potato says single childless women in their 20s are actually paid more than single childless men due to grants and quotas. True. I did a study on this where men, for the most part, move my light back. Let me turn that light down a little bit. It's making my head shine. Men, for the most part, they're talking about men's income and stuff. Now they're saying that, and they even did that study at Google, where at Google they did an analysis of it, and they found they were paying the women more at Google. This is a big difference, 120%. And here's the thing that they always like to pull out. Yeah, but men for forever have made more than women, so it's our time to shine. Oh, so you're saying because things were unfair 20, 30, 40 years ago when you weren't around, now you need to make it unfair on the men that are currently here that didn't make things unfair 30, 40, 50 years ago? It's my problem with all this equality stuff where they go, well, men, it's a 23-year-old guy working as a plumber is not part of the patriarchy. He had nothing to do with the imbalances 20, 30, 40 years ago. So punishing him today is okay? Get the hell out of here. Get out of here with that. Game Corner says, hey, Joker, thank you for creating this space for men. Lyra is alive. Yep, we talked about that at the beginning of the stream. So Gonzo Lyra, Coach Red Pill, is alive and fine. He's doing interviews. Depp has a great defense in his favor, but you know how the system is. Your content makes it easier for me to deal with my sickness. Well, good, and I hope you get better. But we've got a societal sickness right now, let me tell you. So here it is, women making up to 120%, which is 20% more than men. Feral Android says, hit the like button like Joker is hitting the sauce and drink. Okay, thank you, and thank you for the donation, man. At this rate, I'll have to use a little boy's room here. I have to use a gentleman's room. So they say across the nation, young women now earn 93 cents on the dollar overall, according to Pew, with economists attributing that stubborn 7-cent difference to the lower number of hours worked by young women compared to men. So in other words, men are doing overtime, they're working weekends. And again, I did a video on this exact study, like, I don't know, 6 months ago or something. They say when accounting for factors such as job title education, experience, industry, job level, and hours worked, that number rises to a hair-splitting 99 cents on the dollar, according to PayScale's recently released 2022 State of the Gender Pay Gap report. Guys, make a mental note of this, okay? This is from the New York Post, and this was published on April 16th. Bookmark. Testing. Testing. We back up yet? I don't know, guys. It's something to do with YouTube. It's just being crappy today, so I don't know what to tell you. I apologize for that. IP config release renew. Of course, it took me from like 1,600 viewers down to about 400. They got rid of everybody. They were scared of my message. Conspiracy theory. They were after me. Let me catch up on these. Channel 1800 dumb. Well, we will wait for the joke man. Likes up, fellas. Good father raises good man. This is very evident. Don't let YouTube mess with you, brother. Thank you. Sorry about that, guys. I just do not know. I don't know what. That's YouTube. That's YouTube for you. All right. Let's continue on. Shall we? Shark Dentures. Hey, Joker, here you go. Just because. Besides, better to give to you before Bidenomics makes it less valuable than toilet paper. That's why I have that's why I have my Bitcoin. That's why I have that stuff. All right. Let's go back to my overlay here. So, as we talk about, men are graduating college less. Women are getting paid more. Men are falling behind. And women suffer the most because they can't find successful men that make enough money or make more than they do. How stupid is that? Oh, let me change my overlay. I got to change my overlay back again. Everything's falling apart. There we go. Conspiracy. Bob's on-site computer repair. You went down right after the femme came in trash talking. It's a conspiracy. They're after me. They're after me. So, they say, while this is certainly good news for women, it suggests some worrying trends for men. Now, why are they worried? Because men are not available to keep giving to them because they've taken all the jobs. They say at the same time that women are finally reaching economic equality, men and boys are falling further behind or further and further behind. Well, how can we be falling further behind if women just made everything equal? If women just caught up, then how is it men are still falling further and further behind? See, this doesn't make sense. They're like, oh, women are finally equal to men, but men have fallen way back behind us. You can't have both at the same time. You can't have both at the same time. And now they show a picture here, and they show one guy, a couple of guys, a bunch of women. They say women now make up 60% of college students in the U.S., which is helping them out-earn men in most major urban areas nationwide. They say urban, notice. It's also creating a worrisome college gap. Oh, it's not worrying that 60% of graduates are women and only 40% of men. It's creating a worrisome. It's been like this for a long, long time. And I've talked about this for years now. They say as the wage gap closes, okay, let's pause for a moment. as the wage gap closes, yet up here they're saying it's closed, and in many places women are making more money than men. Can't have it both ways, ladies. But as it closes, a partner gap is taking place, leaving women struggling to find a desirable match for marriage and motherhood.
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
Shocking. Women take all the jobs, not all the jobs. Let's be honest. Women don't take all the jobs. Women are taking a lot of the jobs. Women are graduating at a higher percentage rate than men from college. Women are making the same money, or in some cases more, in urban centers. And as women look around, they say, I want a man that is better. Hypergamy still exists. I want a man that's better, but there aren't enough for all of us. Well, of course not. Of course not. They say evolutionary psychologists say that women tend to be more attracted to men who are more highly educated and or out-earn them because sex can bring great costs for women, namely pregnancy and childbirth, except even though that's not a great cost today because of you have government packages and the government can help you and women can still work while they have a kid and there's daycare and there's all this other stuff and child support. The lizard brain part of them still thinks like they did thousands of years ago, which is, I want a man that's better than me. I want a man that can support me. I want a man that can take care of me. Even if I don't need him to, that's still what I find attractive. And you're trying to go against lizard brain. So when women get the jobs and women start making the same money, which they have, and they have been for a while, and women are graduating at a higher rate, and women are getting higher education, and the men are falling behind, the women are saying there's more and more men that don't meet my qualifications for motherhood and for marriage. But what are they finding? They're finding guys that are good looking or athletic that make their fee-fees go tingle-tingle, and they sleep with them. And they casually date them, and they get tossed aside by these guys. And, you know, people that watch my channel and watch videos like this, they call us women haters and misogynists or all this other stuff. It's not true at all. It's not true at all. We just talk about the things that science talks about a little bit, but it doesn't hit the mainstream for a couple of years because it goes against the narrative. Hermit Stew says, Joker, any thoughts on the woke agenda's potential impact on transfer of technical know-how in professional spaces? Is the very process of knowledge transfer starting to fall apart? I think so. I definitely think so. And we may not see this fallout, but here's a good example, okay? Here's a really good example. A little while ago, last summer, we had some of the gas pipeline companies were hacked. And it might have been, I don't know, it might have been overseas, but they got hacked. And they weren't able to get the fuel flowing again by computer because those had been hacked. And when the gas company was asked, what about manually turning it on? What about manually working on it? They said most of the engineers that have the knowledge to do that have either aged out or retired. They're gone. The guys that did the stuff by manual are gone. Now all you have is computers running this stuff. So, Channel 1800 Dumb says, give us a shocking, brother.
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
It's not shocking. You know, guys that run the train yards, guys that run oil rigs, guys that are truckers or electricians or everybody else, you better hope there's enough of them that stick around. But here's the good news. Here's how the market corrects itself, okay? Is that if there's less in those fields, they start ramping up the pay. Again, Walmart paying $110,000 a year to truck drivers to drive a truck, which is relatively easy. You do have to go to school, and it can be stressful. I'm not saying it's like a nothing job. But on the overall challenges in life, it's probably on the easier side. But it's long hours, it's late nights, you've still got to be knowledgeable, but it doesn't require a 4-year degree to do. Well, when those jobs, there's not enough of them. They said something like there's 100,000 trucker shortages. What do? They ramp up the income to where a truck driver can make more than somebody that's got their 4-year degree in underwater basket weaving gender studies. So as the electricians and the technicians and the welders and as all that starts to fall off, those incomes will get ramped up dramatically to where the point where you'll have a 4-year degree in something that's probably not extremely technical. It'll be viewed as worthless. These people will be baristas and coffee servers, which they already are if they get a nothing burger degree. And you as a welder or electrician or technician will come in, buy your coffee, and laugh at them because they're $250,000 in debt and you're debt-free making $100,000 a year at the age of 23. The market will adjust itself. But see, while we go through this hyperinflation, maybe they may have to trigger a recession to correct it. What will happen is these do-nothing jobs that are space fillers and aren't really providing anything to the company other than purple hair, those jobs will go away. And those people will become unemployed. But you guys won't that are taking care. That's why I would not go back to be a network engineer today. I will go back and maybe look into if I had to go work. I mean, this is work, but it's not work. Let's be honest. I would go back. I would go back for trucking and see the country, or maybe do an apprenticeship for welding or electrician or something. That you can do well into your 50s, 60s, 70s, whatever you want to do. They say women, the theory goes, let me share this again here. Women, the theory goes, seek a partner who can ensure she is fed, sheltered, protected while pregnant, Maslow's hierarchy, as well as secure her offspring's well-being after delivery and, however rare, if she dies in childbirth. Finding men of higher or even equal earning and academic status is increasingly difficult because of the college gap, which widens year after year. Now, here's the challenge, guys. Do you think they will ever say, men are falling behind, we need to fix this? We need to give some advantages to men who are falling behind. We need to help men catch up. Never. Never, never. It goes against the message. They can't do it because then they'll be called names. So what happens in the meantime? Men just keep falling further behind. But here's the interesting part. It doesn't matter. Now, to a guy that wants to go out and get married and impress a girl and, maybe chase his dreams in computer engineering, yeah, it matters to him. But to a guy that says, you know what, I'm not impressing any women. I'm not worried about impressing women. I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to look out for myself. I'm just going to worry about me. Those men don't care. They'll take the apprenticeship and become a welder or, something along those lines, and they won't go so far into debt. Men always find a way to survive. Men always find a way to be successful, and they will find a way through this as well. Now, if your dream is being a network engineer, a computer game designer, or something, you may not be able to fulfill your dream right now, and that sucks. But it doesn't mean that you still can't be successful. Remember, go back to Maslow's hierarchy. Men will find a way through this. You know who won't? The woman that works for a university or works at a job where she has a 4-year degree, she's $200,000 in debt, and she has some weird, writing degree or works at human resources or whatever. It's not going to last. And that's why I say, guys, you may need to adjust your near-term or long-term plans for right now, but it doesn't mean you need to suffer for it. Maybe it's not your dream job, but be good at what you do. Find something that you can do well with and just go for it. I do think, at one point in time when I was 17 or 18, I worked at Burger King. That's when minimum wage was like, I think $5.25. It was not much. but I was flipping burgers. I worked at a gas station, a Texaco gas station, where you used to have to pump the gas. They had full-service lanes and self-service lanes. I worked in the full-service lanes, pumping cars full of gas, checking oil. Yeah, we used to do that at gas stations. And washing windscreens with like you're a homeless person, wiping the windscreens. I did that when I was in high school. That wasn't my dream job, but you know what? It paid the bills. And I didn't have many bills, but it paid me. I became a manager of a jewelry store. Am I really into jewelry? No. But could I learn about corundum and aluminum oxide and the carbon structure of a diamond and get into the technical aspect and then use that to sell jewelry and make commissions and make a base rate? Yep. Was I good enough at it? I became a manager? Yep. And what happens? Now I'm at the time I think I'm a 28 or 30-year-old guy who's a manager of a jewelry store making, I think I made 60 or 70 grand a year doing that. I enjoyed it. I get to meet a lot of people, watch a lot of men throw their lives away. But it made an income, and I was okay. I wasn't great at work, but I was okay. I had a house. I had my cars. I was okay. And here's the thing. People are so entitled and spoiled today that okay sounds bad. How are things? I'm okay. Life is a lot of okay. Not great, not awful. It's just, I'm here. Another day older, man, just getting along. If that's your mindset, you'll be fine. If it's I'm entitled to my dream job because I did XYZ, you may be in a lot of trouble. So all I'm saying, guys, right here's the numbers. You may need to adjust your outcomes for the near future. You ever think I was worried about buying land and getting my own well and getting solar and backup batteries and getting enough land I could grow my own food? There's no part of Joker that wants to be a farmer. Except now I'm kind of like, well, maybe I do, because if our electricity or our fuel lines get hacked or something like that, and the deliveries to the stores of delivery of food stops to the stores, I don't want to be hungry. I want to look out for myself. Smart men adapt. Men will adapt to this new environment. Good men, smart men will adapt. Will the other women? Not so much. Channel 1800 Dumb says, how dare you, Joker?
How dare you?
I know, I'm a horrible human being. Horrible, I tell you. Thank you for the 2. Mister. Let me give you a mild round of applause because I don't have a big cheer button. Thank you very much for the $100. Thank you very, very much. He says, truck driver here, but good to see you are live on Saturday, more on locals, less on YouTube. Yeah, I try to do more on locals just because YouTube is kind of awful recently, but I still want to get my message out there. But thank you very, very much for the 100. Ernesto says, just wait. Universities will find a way to monetize apprenticeships when the gender studies market dries up. No, because here's how you'd get, like, say, an electrician apprenticeship. A young man, they need a job at an electric company. They're going to have guys that are making 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks an hour. But they need somebody new, or they need somebody that'll help, I don't know, run gear in and out to a truck, whatever. The business owner will say, looking for an apprenticeship or a new guy to learn. That new guy might be running a lot of menial tasks for the electricians. Maybe he lays cable. A lot of guys in networking got started by laying cable and doing basic hookup stuff. And they get 10 bucks an hour. But for that 10 bucks an hour, 12 bucks an hour, 14 bucks an hour, whatever it ends up being after the inflation and everything, that guy's going to be learning a little bit. And if he sticks with that company and he's curious and he works hard and he shows initiative, they'll show him and they'll give him more responsibility. And as he gains more responsibility, he can ask for more money. That's existed long before college did. So the colleges can try, but I don't think they're going to. Bob Zonsite says, the main problem with the U.S. is the world today, simply stated, is common sense is no longer common. Oh, very much agreed. It's all about the message. And Ernesto says, yes, sir, I'm an electrical contractor. Exactly. The guys that I know The guys that I know that have the money and that are doing well they're not the guys that are paying $2,000 a month to rent an apartment to live in a downtown city where maybe they make $100,000 a year, but their apartment's $2,000, $2,300 a month, and they're in the corporate world. I mean, they're successful, yes, but are they saving well? Are they investing well? No, most of the time those guys are slacking off. The guys that I know that are doing well for themselves usually have calluses on their hands. They've invested in property in their own home. They work a job that's needed and will always be needed. They keep their expenditures small. Those are the guys that I know of that are doing the best. Anyway, they say, this college gap matters. In 2021, nearly 60% of college students were women. This stat, along with the declines in manufacturing and low-skilled job opportunities for less educated men, led to many Gen Z women and the youngest millennial females often out-earning men. These gaps make it harder for women to find a partner who earns at the same level she does. It makes finding love hard, too. Why? Because women want successful men. Women want men that are better than they are. Yet then they complain that men are better than they are. You can't have it all. They say this stat, I already read that. They say many young women find themselves single and childless despite a deep desire for love and motherhood. The CDC reported in 2012, 10 years ago. Yeah, but here's the thing. Women today don't want love. They don't want marriage. They don't want kids. They want to chase Chad because they can't find the guys that are making the money or are as intelligent or successful. So they say, well, I'm told I can be like a man, so I'm just going to go out there and chase good-looking boys and sleep with them. And then when I get dumped, I'm going to repeat it until I find one that wants me. Except those men have options, and they don't want you. Real Jiffy Resident says, $10 drink, Joker. All right, official. On to the next one. This is probably one of the sexiest sounds in the world. That's the best sound after a hard day's work, isn't it? Let me refill my milk stout here. A lot of people say you shouldn't drink milk stout in the summer. You need something light or... Not me. I'll drink warm stout on a 90-degree day while I'm sitting in the sun. Do not care. Love me my stout. Salute, boys. Thank you. See, all the wimps that couldn't wait 5 minutes for me to fix my YouTube thing, they're missing all the fun. Just can't hang with the big boys. That's what it is. I don't blame them. So women are happy that they're making the same amount of men, but now they're unhappy that men aren't making more than them so they could marry them. Mr. Mister says, come on, Joker. Women can have it all if they only knew the truth. Yeah. Thank you for the 20, sir. Thank you for the 20. What is that, Andrew Jackson, I think? It's been a little while since I looked at cash. And Venticus Prime says Tinder's where my erection goes to die. Yeah, I might even do a date. I think I have one dating profile that I loaded up. Maybe I'll do that at the end here. So women want successful men. Women want men that are more successful, make more money, but they also want to make as much money and are as successful as men. You can't have it all, ladies. You're your own worst enemy. Nightmare says, the CDC, I don't buy anything they say. How far have you gotten into Elden Ring, Joker? Cheers, man. Keep up the great work. Thank you for the 5, sir. I have completed Elden Ring as a faith caster, as an intellect / sorcerer caster, as a sword and board, no magic whatsoever caster, and And right now, I actually did a live stream on my second channel. So if you go to Better Bachelor, the B-sides, I did like a 4-hour stream kind of doing this kind of talk, except instead of reading articles, I played Elden Ring and just covered whatever Super Chat came up with. So I'll be doing more of that as well. So they say this stat. I already read that. The CDC in 2012 said that 80% of never married women ages 15 to 44 are childless. Now that's in 2012 that 80% of never married women ages 15 to 44 are childless. Not anymore. Not anymore. Because the CDC stat I last read said that something like 43% of mothers are single. Lots changed in the last 10 years there, CDC. And they say an 81% of this group plan or hope to have children one day. But that's fine. They get Chad. They chase Chad. They chase the good-looking hot guy, and they're like, oopsie doopsie poopsie, I'm preggers. So I get this, tall, dark, handsome, beautiful man who's given me a child, and that child hopefully will be tall, beautiful, and have all the advantages in life. Now I need to find the guy that's going to help me pay for it. That's the current 2022 trend. Bob's Onsite says, if they try to lock us back down before the midterm elections do not comply, they are desperate, and I truly believe it will happen. Yeah, we'll have to see about that. I think Dems know they're in a bit of trouble. And Channel 1800 Dumb says, shout out to the wrenches, jokey, feral android, bro. Yes, thank you for my moderators that are helping me keep, so far no spammers, really. They say the new challenge for women, isn't the wage gap. It's finding a desirable match for marriage and motherhood. Rather than continue to focus on narrowing the wage gap, it's time to consider it closed. Let me read that all-important thing that we've known for multiple years. Rather than continue to focus on narrowing the wage gap, it's time to consider it closed. Those of us that are in the know and have looked at the statistics have considered it closed for many years now. Welcome to 2022, New York Post. They say we must focus on our attention on the college gap and helping ensure that boys and young men are empowered, that is a dangerous word, to attain higher education like girl power programs have successfully done for girls and young women. We must support boys' academics and young men's career potential. Doing so will actually leave girls and women better off and help society reach true equality. How do you like that, guys? Listen to how that's written. We must close the college gap, and we must help young men so that men are available for the women. Not because we should help men to help men, not because men are falling behind. Let's not help men for the sake of helping men. Let's help women, or let's help men become more successful so the women have somebody that they actually want to be with that is more successful. You can't make this stuff up. But
Smart men don't get married.
Smart men don't get married. They don't get married. And so if you are a smart young, and I've said this multiple times, if you are a guy who's got your crap together, maybe you didn't get the genetic lottery. Not a lot of guys do. All right? But maybe you're decent looking. Maybe you've got your crap together. Maybe you're intelligent, with or without a degree. Maybe you're intelligent. Maybe you've got some nickels in the bank. Maybe you got your own land. Maybe you're doing okay for yourself. You're a catch, fellas. The women may not know it. They may not appreciate it. They may not realize it. Fellas, you're a catch. And you need to think like that. You need to consider yourself a catch. I am a catch. For who, I'm not exactly sure. But I'm a catch. I'm pretty sure of it. So continue to think that way, guys. Because even here they're saying, like, women cannot find the men they want to marry. And women today will not date down. They will not date down. They'll sleep down. They'll screw around down. They'll go for the hot guy, but they don't want to marry the Brad Pitt with no money. They want to sleep with him and have his kid. They don't want to marry him. James Young said, the chickens are coming home to roost, and they're just now seeing it. I've been a local subscriber for a while. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Oh, and I have to drink. This is why I say, young men, do not put yourself down. Do not be hard on yourself. Do not go to bed at night and you thinking, I am a failure because I can't meet an attractive woman and I'm not driving a $70,000 car and I'm not making $1 million a year. You can't keep chasing after that because women's desires are going higher and higher and higher. You can't keep up with that. You will fail as a man. You'll just fail if that's what you're shooting for. And all you're going to do is make yourself miserable trying to chase what they want because what they want is unreasonable. J.D. Clearway says, I know a woman who earns 6 figures and is convinced that most men are after her money. She's 38, wants kids, and can't find a man. No man, I mean, there are guys that will date a woman for money, sure. I'm sure there's very attractive, low-income guys that would love to marry a doctor. But men know that if they're dumped or cast aside by the woman, they don't have a backup plan. They've got to earn for themselves. Women can always go from guy to guy to guy to guy. They just always, oh, he's just a friend to keep him on the back burner. And then when things fall through with their guy, they'll have a backup plan until they can find a new one. And it doesn't mean they all do that, but it is hypergamy. There are science studies on this stuff. There's articles written on this stuff. Women do not want to be alone without someone to rely upon. Whether it's a father, a parent, a brother, a sibling, women are uncomfortable alone being shut off from society, where a lot of men thrive with that. And again, there are studies on this. Women like societal things, men like engineering things, men like things. Voodoo 2130 says, hey, Joker, thanks for reminding us that we're the catch. We are. Look, here's what it, and I'm not trying to put down women, okay? But men do not look at women as providers. Men do not look at women as the strength of the relationship. Men look at women as, are you interesting? Are you fun? Do I find you attractive? Do I want to sleep with you? That's it. We're good. That's it. Women, what they want out of men is he a good provider? Does he give security? Does he have good income? Will he be able to take care of me? Is he attractive? Is he good for this? Is it blah, 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 blah. Like, men are like, is she naked and does she have a sandwich? I'm in. I'm in. Women have so many more needs from a man that if you actually meet them, you're a catch. For a lot of guys, they're like, is she fun? Do I want to sleep with her? Like, that's the beginning of a lot of guys' relationships with a woman. That's not a lot of hurdles. But you want a guy that's 6 foot or even 5'10" or 5'11", and he's not obese, and he makes, just go look at the delusion calculator I've done on this channel. You want a guy under the age of 50 that's not obese, that's 5'10" or 5'11", that makes 6 figures, 0.05%. They're the one. So if you're trying to think like I've got to be that 0.5% to get a shot, you don't need to chase that. And if they're unwilling to bring their standards down a little bit, it's them that's going to miss out. Why? Because it's perfectly fine and wonderful and supportive of women going out there earning money in the spicy industry. So a guy that's successful but maybe not traditionally good looking can say, here's $300. Give me the thing I want. I got it. I'm good for the month or a week or whatever. And he moves on in life. He's getting basically the most exciting thing out of a relationship, and it costs him a couple $100. How does a woman go out and catch a man that makes 6 figures and is tall or does this? You can't. And you can't. You might be able to rent one, but you can never get. Remember, men control the marriage and the relationship status. Women control the bedroom. Well, if women are controlling the bedroom by like, give me $300 and you can have what you wanted in the bedroom, men will do that. But men will never say, I'm going to marry you because reasons? No. Venus Prime, I pride myself on being ugly. It keeps the stupids away for over 30 years. Only ever wanted to be content, but being alone makes me happy. I feel you. I was talking about this the other day. My battery on my vehicle went dead because it's still in the 20s and 30s here in Montana, because Montana, it's still cold here. I went and got groceries, and I hadn't driven my vehicle in so long the battery went dead. Why? I got food here in the apartment. My entertainment's on the web, watching YouTube or doing content creation or playing a game or whatever. I'm not ramming all over the place. I'm kind of good. I'm good being alone, and a lot of men are. Let me see if I missed any, and then I'll keep going. Drinky Poo Cheers, Joker, and boys, $2. LOL. Thank you, man. $2 at a time. I'll take it. Fan AM says, so the end result is both sexes go their own way, embracing the single life. No, women will not embrace the single life. They're stuck with it. It's validation. Pay attention to me. This hot guy wants to sleep with me. I've got lots of friends. Everything's going great. Now the men's attention's going away. Now all my friends are married. Now I'm kind of alone. I need a man.
Just makes common sense.
I'm alone. My friends are married, and they're doing this and they're doing that, and I'm not getting the attention anymore. And I'm alone. I want to be married with a family. I've always wanted that, except for the previous 10 or 15 years when I was getting all the attention from the F boys and partying it up with my friends. Our favorite podcaster / comedy entertainment Yana Hawking, go read her stuff. She's like, oh, I'm lonely. Oh, I just had a great party time with this football star, and we had a great hookup weekend. Oh, am I getting too old, and am I going to be alone forever? Oh, this guy just bought me drink. It's like when they have the guy, when they have the attention, when they have the fun, everything's good. But when it goes away for a little while, they get scared, and they flip-flop back and forth. But what happens when it goes away forever? I want a family. Too late. I want a traditional man, except I'm not a traditional woman. And they freak out about it. Channel 1800 sneaking in. It's supposed to be $5, but I'll give it to you for your New Zealand $2, which is probably $1.60 in U.S. Cheers again, Jokey brother. I'm cunning. Thank you, man. So, you can't have it off. James Young says, I'm off to bed. I've been up since 4. Good night, everyone. The New York Post has been a rag since I was a kid. I'm 48. Cheers. Thank you for the 10. Sleep well, my friend. But we see this time and time again. If you look at the articles that I read, I'm 48 and I left my husband and I never should have. He was so great to me, but I wasn't getting the tingles. I'm 43 and I still can't find the right guy, but I'm a successful woman that's blah, blah, blah. Like it's there. It's all there. Article after art. I mean, my channel's been doing these articles for 3 years. Feral Android says $10. Thank you, man. I'm 5'11", normal face, financially independent, good shape. Doesn't matter. It doesn't magically make the women any better. Drink. Thank you. Here's the thing. If you got game and you're a funny guy to talk to and you're, of average height or average looks, you can get somebody, but how many hoops are you jumping through? And are you just a place filler till she finds something better? Guys don't want to feel that way. We want to be desired. Look, I'm 5'6", 5'7" if I'm standing on a popsicle stick. Like, I'm not a tall guy. I can't do anything about that. Does that make me bad? No, it just means I didn't win the tall lottery. I'm bald. 30 or 40% of men are bald when they get a little bit older. Does that make me a bad, undesirable person? No, I just didn't win that lottery. I'm hung like a horse. At least I won that. But my point is, okay, you can't have it all. And so if women are going to discard men because they're bald, or women are going to discard men because they're short, well, guys, you can stress yourself out and say, I wish I were taller, or I'm going to go over to Asia and get my legs lengthened by 4 inches, or you can say, something, women are all about body positivity. I'm going to have some body positivity for myself. And you know what? Okay, so maybe I didn't get the girl of my dreams, but I can maybe work for the job of my dreams. Maybe I can work to have enough money where I don't have to really worry. I can meet those lower levels of Maslow's needs, and you meet those needs. Life will be good. And then you know what? Then you go out and you write. Maybe you give out that 3 $200, $300, $400 a couple times a month to be with a girl that's your dream redhead, a beautiful redhead, and you spend $600, you spend a couple of hours in the bedroom with her a couple times a month. But if you're okay being alone, if you're okay being single, if you're okay saving your money for that aspect, then you're okay, because again, we can't shame that. That is now, they cheer that on. But you know what you don't have to do in your time off away from the girl? You don't have to worry about making her happy, or did you take her out to eat, or did you watch a movie that she wanted to watch? There's a lot of advantages too. And so what you need to decide is, am I a guy that's going to work and get a girlfriend, somebody I can trust, somebody I can be with that accepts me for who I am? Or do I say, I don't think it's going to happen. I'm going to go, do my own thing. And then if it does happen, then okay, we'll see how it turns out. I mean, there are options. Fan I Am says, embrace equals stubbornly saying, if I can't get the men I want, then I'll just be a boss all by myself with my cats. They refuse to compromise. I think what happens is they decide to compromise later in life, after their body count's higher and they've given their best years away to some, to the good-looking dudes. Like, guys don't want you showing up to the finish line after you've run a marathon and you're sweaty and stinky and worn out and you're like, well, here I am, take me. Guys are like, no. No. Where were you when you were like fresh before the race? You gave it all, but then they show up and they say, I want a man that makes more and is better off than I am. You don't get it all. So women are suffering because they've taken all the good stuff from the men, and now they're saying, well, we need to help the men so they can provide us the good stuff again. They say the process won't come easily. The academic gender gap begins early, with girls leaping ahead of boys in literacy by 4th grade. Why? Female teachers, female moms, not so many men around, not so many male teachers, not so many male role models, plus you're a young white male. All the world suffers because of you, because you're bad. And CRT and all this other stuff. They say many believe this is because of some innate female-based desire to focus on work and complete it on time. A corresponding way of thinking suggests that most boys need more time to mature into putting effort into their schoolwork. Here's the thing. Men are not, by nature, they're not social, and by nature, they're not academic when it comes to sitting and reading. They've done studies on this, and women learn better by sitting and reading and listening and watching. Boys do better by example, tutelage, by doing, by example. I'm that way. You can tell me or show me 50 times how to do something. I'll forget. But if you show me once and allow me to take notes, and because this is how I learned a lot of my job when I was a network engineer, I'd say, okay, hold on, let me get my notepad out. And I made notes, and then I said, stay here one time. And I'd do it. And I say, do I have that? Am I missing anything? Do I have that correct? And they'd say yes, and I'd refer to my notes. Everything's the same. I can now do that job forever. No problems, no questions, no issues, nothing. I got my notes. I've done it once, and then repetition. Now, here's the thing. If I went back and sat at my desk 10 years after I left my network engineering and I sat down, I can start that job again from day one, just the way I used to do it. Because of repetition. Women learn from seeing and listening, and so schools are designed for women. Boys learn from wrenching, from apprenticeship, watching their fathers do something, having their dads give them instruction, helping their fathers. That doesn't exist anymore. So of course young men are falling behind. Humble Man 13 says the surgery to lengthen your legs side effect makes your legs weak and easy to break. Yeah, sign me up. Sarcasm. Also super expensive. Local supporter. Hard sale. Oh, hey, hard sale. Hard sale 13. Yeah, exactly. Well, and not only that, but it stresses your joints in weird ways. And I get why would you modify yourself for a woman? I'm 5'6"-ish. And I'm older. So by the time I'm 75, I'll be 5'1". Who cares? Don't do it to impress women, because you know what? You could, okay, I'm 5'6", I go get limb lengthening, I'm 6 foot. Yeah, but you don't have any hair. Okay, so I go get a hair implant. Yeah, but you wear glasses, so I get contacts. Yeah, but you don't have a six-pack, so I start hitting the gym really hard. Yeah, but you don't make $100,000. So, like, at what point do you just say, you know what, screw it? Screw it. You can never live up to their expectations, so just enjoy your life. Channel 1800 says, I'm cunning like serpent. Jokey, bottom of the glass. I just refilled this. There is no bottom of the glass on your New Zealand $5, but thank you. No bottom of the glass on that one. 500, now we're talking. I do this to Pop and Blake all the time. Salute, Joker and the lads. Thank you. Thank you again for your many, many multiple donations. I'm going to have to use the boys' room here in a moment. And also run to the fridge to get more beer. So here's the thing, guys. Don't chase after what they want. They want you to be the 0.01%, and if you're that, they'll still find something else. They say, however, it's not only biological differences that give girls a head start. This study of blah, blah, blah found that many underperforming boys perceive hard work in school as unmasculine. Instead, they view manual labor and jobs that require physical strength more manly. Yeah, there's a lot of guys that say sitting here and writing this English paper on why I'm a horrible person because of my skin color, they say, I'm not into that. I want to go wrench on something. There's a reason why when boys play, there was a beautiful video clip, and I wish I'd saved it. And it was outside, two little boys, and one had a bicycle that had training wheels. And I guess he had gotten it stuck to where the training wheels were sitting up on the bank a little bit, and the bike wheel was down in the mud. And one kid would get behind the tire while his brother or his friend, whatever it was pedaling, throwing mud into his face and laughing his little ass off. And then he'd wipe the mud out of his eyes, and then he'd get on the bicycle, and the other kid would get right behind the wheel just to get a face full of mud, laughing his face off. Why? They were interested in the dynamics. They were interested in getting dirty. They were interested in messing each other up and goofing on each other. That's how men are. That's how men are. You know, if somebody puts in the chat, hey, Joker, you're short, ugly, and your voice is for radio or voice is for print or whatever, I'm like, yeah, I know. That's why I intro my videos that way. You know, there's guys will insult each other when they like each other. Men will ignore each other when they hate each other. Women will insult each other when they hate each other and ignore each other when they like each other. Like you can't. So of course men want to wrench and emulate and train and work and adapt. That's how we learn. So when you're in school and they take away gym and they take away extracurricular dodgeball and all this and football and all these other programs, men suffer. But the women continue to do fine because they're sitting at the desk learning like they always do. They say philosopher and feminist critic Christina Hoff Sommers, author of The Wage Against Boys, How Misguided Policies Are Harming Our Young Men, argues that educators must consider gender-typical differences in order for boys to succeed more academically. That's kind of what we're talking about. For example, classrooms are set up for the way girls learn best, and that's literally what I was just saying, such as requiring pupils to sit still, and not for the ways boys learn best, such as fidgeting and being more active. Others, like economist David Figelo, says that girls are less vulnerable to socioeconomic pressures, where boys are more likely to fail in lower income settings. In a study, Figelo found that while siblings performed equally well at high-performing schools in higher socioeconomic neighborhoods, sisters outperformed their brothers at low-performing schools in lower socioeconomic communities. In other words, the poorer the family, the more boys suffer and girls excel. Why? Because you're in a poorer school district. You probably have teachers that aren't as good, and a lot of the school programs that boys might excel at may be cut because of school budget, other things like that. Whatever the reasons, unless we commit to narrowing the education gap early on, the college gap will continue to widen. But again, what they say, the good intentions of feminists have led, at least in part, to unforeseen results. Young women have found equal pay for equal work, but are still looking for love. Well, guess what? Guys, the more successful you are, the better you're doing, the happier you are. Do you know what makes a woman attracted to you as a man? It's not your money. Well, it's partially your money. Let me clarify that. How can you be successful with women? Maybe that's the best place to start. Like yourself. Be confident. Be funny. Be outgoing. Be good at your job. Have a couple of nickels to rub together. Have lots of hobbies that you love. And do them. Women will find that attractive. You know what women don't like? Women don't like men that chase women. Women don't like men that place them above all else on a pedestal. Doesn't work. Does not work. Men that want women should never chase women. Women that want women, if they chase women, never get women. All right, this will be the last one I do. Let me take 10 seconds here, use the gents room. I'll be right back, and then we'll finish on this last topic that I have. Give me just a second, and I'll grab my last beer. All righty then. I grabbed one last beer. I'll put it on ice just in case you guys go mad with the last second donut. I actually do feel it a little bit, which is surprising after 2 beers. Although 6%, I guess, what's that? 4 or 5 Budweisers. But I'm such a lightweight. Because I just really don't drink much anymore. But it's good beer. And for those of you that have PM'd me over on Locals and have sent me emails, I will get a post office box once I'm in Tennessee. So I will be, if you want to send me this unique scotches and whiskeys and vodkas and all the goodies, and whatever else, I'll have something available so you guys can send me mail or any other stuff. So, all right, last story we have here is, let's see, a little bit of delay here, so let me make sure everything's okay. Exercise is now right-wing, patriarchy, nationalism, all the other isms in the world. I could have done this thumbnail with just the dude, but I wanted to throw the girl in there because I'd rather look at the girl than the guy, to be honest with you. and I love it when guys are like, oh, where'd you get that? Like, where'd you get the model? All I do is Google Bob's tank top or blonde Bob's or just use the web. I don't Google it. I DuckDuckGo it, but just use the web. So apparently now exercise is bad. And you got to love it. You got to love it. Pandemic, they say the pandemic fitness trends have gone extreme, literally. While white supreme people, latest scheme is to valorize violence and hypermasculinity has gone digital. I'm not going to I'm not going to make your ears and or eyes bleed with this stupid article, because it is stupid. But this is from MSNBC, a supposedly, quote, news media site. They say it appears the far right has taken advantage of stay-at-home fitness trend to expand its decade-plus radicalization of physical mixed martial arts and combat sports spaces. So apparently, if you're into physical fitness, MMA, maybe learning about jiu-jitsu or boxing, all the things which I love, of course, that makes you evil. And it aligns you with the white supreme people that are nationalists. You can't make this up. And this article, what it does is it goes down through and it basically explains that there are some groups that are aligned with these things that have gyms and workout places. And because of that, apparently anybody that's aligned with this stuff are bad people. Now, this doesn't surprise me coming from the fat positive, blue-haired land cow people. That's anybody to say, well, if you actually care what you look like and you work out and you keep yourself in shape, you're bad. Okay. Sure, it doesn't surprise me. So now they're health shaming, basically. If you want to stay healthy and athletic, well, now you're in extreme stuff. Listen to this sentence, guys. This is a real sentence that was written on MSNBC. The intersection of extremism and fitness leans into a shared obsession with the male body, training, masculinity, testosterone, strength, and competition. Voodoo 2130 says, you're serious.
Oh, wait, you serious?
Yeah, guys, so you're an extreme person and a white supreme person if you're into the male body, training, masculinity, testosterone, strength, and competition. Now, if you were to ask me, hey, what are the components, what are one of the components of stoicism that you think are important? I'd say having a healthy body, training, being masculine, keeping your testosterone up, being strong, and having healthy competition. But now that they're relating this to far right, all these other bad things, why does it not surprise me? Why does it not surprise me that if you're into this, you're a bad person? Of course they are. And from The Guardian, and this is from 3 years ago, but I just did a quick search to see. From The Guardian, do you boast about your fitness? Watch out, you'll unavoidably become right-wing. Notice how they say watch out, like being right-wing or conservative is a negative. I mean, the media today is just, oh, you're conservative? We hate you. Oh, you believe in traditionalism of anything? We hate you. Oh, you believe a man and woman should fall in love and only be with each other and maybe not hundreds of other people? Oh, you're evil. How dare you?
How dare you?
But for a lot of us, we call this common sense. And, you know, when I was younger, I wasn't too bad. I was a decent enough looking joker. And this is long before the internet existed, that if you were able to talk to people and you could make girls laugh and you were fun to be around, people liked you. You weren't quite judged on today's same harsh standards, because the number of people that walked around that had six packs and that were tall and incredibly good looking were 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 100. Now today you can go on the internet and find somebody that looks like that, and you're like, oh, that's what I want my significant other to look like. But watch out. If you're right wing, watch out. That's bad. I mean, you read it right in this. Hard Sale says this is stupid as saying losing weight is fat phobic. Yeah, exactly. How dare you, take care of yourself. And you know what? Here's the good thing. Okay, I'm going to set this up on Locals for supporters. I'm going to pin a thread at the top where I'm going to weigh myself and I'm going to put in my weight. And then weekly, I'm going to weigh myself, and we're going to do a little bit of a weight loss challenge. Because I'll be honest, I'm like 30, 35 pounds overweight. I gained that weight when I was visiting my family and all my mother's amazing cooking. And I just haven't lost it. And I need to. But in the same token, it's a lot easier to say, hey, instead of saying I'm 30 or 40 pounds overweight, because that's admitting maybe something I don't like about myself, or maybe something like a flaw, which is, you can never admit you are not perfect. Instead of that, how much easier, instead of losing 30, 40 pounds, how much easier is it to just say, accept me as I am? And that I'm just, my weight at any weight is beautiful. Okay, maybe it's beautiful, but it's not healthy. I mean, we have this cool thing called science that everybody keeps screaming about to trust it. They've got statistics on this. But now it's a negative. And if you boast about being fit, if you boast about being athletic, well, you're right wing. This coming from this woman who doesn't look to be extremely healthy. She says, I'm not sure what exercise does for your body. Then why are you writing an article about it? Shut up. You are the least qualified person to talk to. She says, I'm not sure what your exercise does for your body, but I do know what it does to your personality, and it's not pretty. What does it do to your personality? It makes you independent and strong and less societal and more okay with being, I'm not going to read the whole article, but it makes you okay with being alone. It makes you strong and independent. Oh, how awful. How awful. God forbid that you're a strong, independent person that doesn't need the acclamation and love of everybody else in the world. Who cares? Who cares? She says here, like, I'll just grab this little snippet here. Do too much exercise, and the self-love develops a carapace of self-sufficiency. This is especially a problem for cyclists who come to think of themselves as off-grid warrior class, having performed their commute drawing on no more resources than their own glutes and maybe a sports drink. Unavoidably, over time, this makes you more right-wing as you descend into aerobics-powered moral universe where only the weak need each other, and all the strong need is a water pouch in their backpack that pipes straight into their mouths. So apparently to be strong and self-sufficient is now right-wing? Being strong and self-sufficient is right-wing. Okay. What does that say about the left wing, where you're like, I need everybody's help, and I depend on society, and I need to be involved with everybody else's life? If being strong and independent and being able to get around and being proud of being healthy makes you right-wing, I guess I'm right-wing. And it's not even a choice. I've been told I'm right-wing now, guys. It's funny, I always thought of myself as a moderate, but I do like exercise. I do like watching my weight, being healthy. I do like the fact that I can pedal a bicycle and get somewhere without using gas. Isn't it the left that's always ticked off how much gas we use, polluting the planet? But if I rely on my glutes and my bicycle, I'm right-wing. I thought that's being pretty green. You can't have it all ways. You can't have it all ways. But apparently if you're not part of the hive mind, if you're not in the buy-in of being in the hive mind, you're right-wing. Okay. I guess I'm right-wing now. This one I was going to do tonight, but I'll save it and do it as a one-off tomorrow. Because there's a guy that they're shaming him because he required Tinder dates to fill out applications. I'm sorry, but that's a Chad right there. If he's like, I make six figures, I'm successful, I'm doing well for myself, if you want to date me, fill out this application, I'm for it. This guy knows he's the prize. This guy gets it. And you know what's funny? Let's go back to the Jada Pinkett Smith / whatever debacle. He's bowed and scraped and simped and done everything for this woman, and she doesn't even respect him. She doesn't like him. She doesn't respect him at all. So why would a guy dip for that? Why would a guy, he's given up everything he wanted for her, and she hates him. Do you know who will get more attention and get more high-quality women? Instead of simping for a girl or say you'll do anything for her, taking an application. Now, she may shame you and she may post your stuff online and say you're a horrible person. But if you say, hey, I have standards, and if you want to go out with me, you'll fill this out. A lot of women might not because of pride. But a woman that's actually looking for a good, like a legit dude to date and fall in love with and be with, if he shows that he has selection and you have to meet his standards, maybe I'm crazy, but I think he'll end up with not only more women, but certainly better quality women. I'm going to cover this. I'll cover this in another video because I don't want to go. I don't want to go too crazy and too long tonight. But first, let me say. I'll tip this back a little bit. I don't think I'll quite finish this. You guys have been kind to me and slowed the super chats so I don't get all sloppy. So and I've got some. Man, I went to the store the other day. I've heard all of these warnings about the prices of meat going up, and meat packing plants are getting lit up on fire, and they're worried about it. Forum says California, $10, a wild drink appears. I'm almost there. I've got, I don't know, maybe 10 sips left. But you hear so much about how they're telling you get ready to eat roaches and bugs and we should stop eating meat. And the price of meat has gone crazy. I went into my local grocery store. I found a pack of steaks. They're New York strip steaks. And they're like 2 or 3 days away from expiring. It was $35, which for about 3 pounds of New York strips, not insane. But they'd put them on clearance sale. And so it was 3 pounds of steak for like $15 of New York strip steak. And I'm like, $5 per pound for a New York strip. So I bought it. It's sitting in my fridge right now. So tonight at 9:30 at night, where I am locally, I've had it marinating, and I'm gonna cook a couple of them. Enjoy that with some Feral Android says finish it. $10. Thank you for the 10. I'm just joking. I'm like pretending like $10 to finish a drink is nothing. It is more than I deserve, and I thank you for it. But I'm going to talk between, so I don't just sit here silently staring into my beer. But I've got some beautiful steaks. I'm going to cook them up tonight. And I got some fresh veggies. But you know something? If eating healthy and working out and taking care of yourself and wanting to love yourself and being a positive, even if it's just being a positive role model for yourself, if that makes you crazy or out of touch or out of society or a bad person, I mean, Atomic Vomit says, really finish it. I'm finishing. This is beer. You know, I'm talking. I don't want to be sitting here burping and having foam coming out of my mouth here. Thank you, guys. Thank you all for joining me tonight, by the way. I love you guys, and I love doing these streams, and I love talking to you. To be honest with you, if I didn't do my YouTube and my local stuff and I didn't have my streams, I wouldn't be as happy as I am. I can tell you that much. I've moved around and traveled so much over the last few years. I don't have really any. I have 1 or 2 solid friends. Other than that, there's not a lot of people I interact with. You guys are my community. You guys are you're my job. And I'm not doing the sloppy, I love you, man. I'm not that drunk. But I do appreciate you guys. And believe it or not, I get as much from you as hopefully you get from me. I really do. Black Mass says, good to see it didn't turn into Joker Biden, no drink required. Thank you. And Humble Man or Salesforce says, I just got home to HI yesterday, to spread mom's ashes. She didn't like me and see family. Average price for gas is $5.20 a gallon. You must be West Coast somewhere. Drink for everything, or cost for everything is up. Hard sale. Drink, man, drink. Thank you. Because I've still got to have one more beer during my steak. That's my point. I sear it for just a couple sides. I sear it for just a couple of minutes, and then I put it in the oven on 400 for like 4 minutes to get it to that, like, just past rare. Love it. Done. Thank you, fellas. But I legitimately get as much out of this community as you do. Because while I'm the one sitting up here talking and coming up with these stats and looking at these stories, hearing your stories, your real world stories, hearing that you guys have had just as bad, if not worse, things happen to you that have happened to me, hearing that we're not in this alone, that there's hundreds and thousands and millions of guys that go through this, and finding a way to say, how do I come through this in a positive way? How do I come through this not feeling like I'm alone, or I'm the weird one, or I'm the oddball, or there's something wrong with me? Every message that you guys send, whether it's in an email, whether it's in a private message on Locals, whether it's here in our chat, whether it's a super chats, whatever. Every message that says, dude, I feel you. I hear you. I know where you're coming from. I've been there, or this happened to me too, or hearing all that, let's all of us heal in some ways. Because, let me read these. Buddha says, I love seeing Joker's recipe of the day, showing some of your culinary skills. I've got some mad skills. And Elbanero 120 says, $10. I enjoy seeing you doing great. Thank you. I'm going to crack this last beer while we're shooting the breeze. Every message that I see that you guys post that says, man, that happened to me, or same thing, or me too, or I'm short, or I got left, or I got cheated on, or I got used, or I got anything, it doesn't make all women villains. It doesn't make all women villains. It makes some women villains, but it doesn't make all women villains. But what it does is it says when you've been shaded, when you've been hurt, when you've been bummed out, when you've been laid off, when things are going bad, and you look at these forums and or the chats or whatever, and you say, okay, I'm not alone. Like, because when guys get left or hurt or cheated on or whatever, it's easy to feel like I'm a loser, or I should have done better, or I could have done better, or I'm not good enough, or whatever. And when you see so many other people sharing in the same life experiences, it lets guys say, I'm okay. It's not just me. I'm not crazy. Lots of us are in this camp. And I'm not alone in this, and I have support. And that's why I love you guys, because when I started this channel and when I got back from my travels overseas and things had changed, part of what sparked my travels is I did want to find myself. I wasn't happy in life. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know my goals. I didn't know. And when I came back and started my channel, it was like 300 subs in the first year, and then it just kind of blew up. But hearing your stories and hearing you guys go, me too, man, and we're all in this, and you guys help me just as much as I help you. So shout out to you viewers. Shout out to you guys that support me. Shout out to you guys that are in the community. Shout out to Saying Strong. You know, you guys have helped me as much as maybe I've helped you. And that means so much to me. I would be a much different person had I not had the lessons and the stories and the appreciation from you guys. So thank you very much. Thank you for all your super chats and your donations over on Locals, just watching my videos and letting an ad, get through the first 5 seconds. Like, all that matters to me. And I can't thank you guys enough. And now imagine what I'd be like if I was really drunk. I'd be like, I love you, man. You guys are awesome. My best friends, even though I don't know you. So, thank you guys. Thank you for being part of the Bachelor Brotherhood, as Orbital Hub says. The Brotherhood, yeah. You guys are all part of the Brotherhood here. And no, John, not spitting my drunk love. This is sober love. Trust me on that, my friend. You'd know drunk love. There'd be a lot more slurring. Maybe some crying. No, this is sober love. But you know something? I've been around now for like 3 years, and I don't think enough content creators let you guys know I'm here because of you. That's it. Otherwise, I'd be off doing my own thing, and I'm here because I love doing this for you guys, and you give me as much as I give you. Okay. That is enough. I hate you all. I was just kidding. Actually, I just see Salesforce. You just said the same thing. I can't stand any of you. LOL. Just kidding. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much for joining me. Join me, guys. If you're not a supporter over on betterbachelor.locals.com, become a member at least. That's free. You get my content for free, ad free. It's off YouTube. If you want to become a member, it's $5 a month. Unless you do a year, which is US 50, which comes out to be about $4 a month. But you know what? You support me and you enjoy me to give you commercial-free content where YouTube can screw itself. But in the meantime, that's less than one of the crappy cups of coffee. So love you guys. Love you guys. Thank you very much for everything. I think I've gotten all the super chats in. Yes, I see I've gotten everything. Thank you, guys. We'll leave it there. Peace out, and we'll see you in the next one. I'll have a video for you out probably tomorrow.